Big O, we told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's just surely probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Friday Pablo in the Big O Show. Oh, on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise to survive, it's the best of the best. He's got the fans, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style. Break it a morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping you glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the rumors in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call him and let him know. Coach and Probably Pablo, now introducing the man of the hour, Big O, a.k.a. Orlando Gary.
Alrighty, good morning. It's a Tuesday. I hope it's a beautiful one for you wherever you're at in the world, since we always have people tuning in all over the world. I see Rouse in the house at number one, already on the board. Appreciate all of you out there as always, whether you're watching, whether you're listening, downloading, texting, tweeting, however it is you support us and our amazing sponsors. We appreciate it immensely. Good morning, y'all. It's a good day, right? Because it kind of started last week in a way, even though sports were, are going, and we've been, like for me, I'm totally into the MLS tournament, but I get it that the average American, it's more about, okay, baseball's going, basketball, hockey, these are the sports that we relate to more than anything else. And you can already sense it. And for me, it's a lot of fun because now I get to kind of prepare and talk about sports. I mean, today we got 3 games locally. We got the Marlins back in action against the Orioles. We got the Panthers in action at noon. And then the Heat play like at 6:30, I believe it is. 6:30 against the Celtics. So this is awesome, dude. The part that sucks, and maybe it's a good thing, I guess. I don't know, because the Panthers, if I'm off the air watching, then I'm sitting there in frustration. Now, at least, starting at noon, the game will play, and I'll be looking at it casually. I'll record it, and maybe I'll go back to watch it if it's a win. But if it's a loss, you know what? Maybe doing the show while the game's going on might be the better therapy for me at this point. You know what I mean? Although you might get my anger right on the air if I'm watching them, get their asses kicked, which is not what I'm hoping for. But again, it's hard to imagine them winning 3 of the next 4 against the Islanders. It just hasn't proven to me to be that kind of team. You know what I mean? So now we got the Heat on a back-to-back today. They lost last night to the Raptors. A couple of bad passes and a terrible foul call, too, on top of all of that. What was that, a 4-point play that the Raptors got out of that on the Olynyk? And then the referee came out, I think I made the wrong call. Well, dude, I don't want to hear about that. You know what I mean?
After the fact.
It's like, come on, dude. It was a tough one, but again, the Raptors are pretty damn good. So, it happens. I can't complain too much.
You know what? It's hard, like you say. There is no consolation prizes.
No.
It's a solid game,
Yeah.
But Toronto, the way they've been playing.
Yeah. Van Vliet was amazing. Was he 7 of 12? I wrote it down, I think, from three-point range. It was just, 7 of 12 from three-point range. A kid had 36 points. He was unstoppable.
We were talking about it yesterday.
Unstoppable.
Them in Milwaukee,
Man.
whatever that defensive stat is, efficiency, blah, they're 1-2. And to run them down 15 points down with 3 minutes left in the third and run them down.
They're well coached,
To do that against that defense, that is the one solace I'll take from that game.
Yeah, and those guys are playing motivated because they're playing without Kawhi. And so Kawhi comes in, they win the title, and now they have a chip on their shoulders. Like, okay, we're going to prove to people that we're a good team without Kawhi. And that's kind of the mission they've been on. And I told you yesterday, when people say the Raptors, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm not taking it that serious. Now, the more I see them, it's like, you know what? I've been underestimating them. Maybe they are ready to not win a title or anything like that, but maybe they can make the kind of noise that can get to the Eastern Conference Finals and maybe even surprise somebody and sneak in.
Oh, would
to the
you
NBA
say
Finals.
They have the biggest chip on their shoulder in the bubble, right?
Yes. There's no doubt about it. And I like that if you're a fan. And to me, that's kind of what we have with the Dolphins. I think we have a group of guys that have a chip on their shoulders. That's why nobody's dropped out. And the way they finished last year, 5-4, and they knocked out the Patriots and all of that, you could tell that those guys feel better about themselves going into this season. And they're looking for, not that this season may end up playing out. I think this season's going to be squat when it's all said and done. I'm terrified for the NFL. You can already see it with baseball, and they have no contact. I'm terrified for the MLS once they leave the bubble, too. I think without the bubble, it's going to be hard. You know what I mean? I was just seeing college football where most of the conferences are going to delay except the Big 12. They're going to start in late August here. I mean, which is asinine, and they're not going to make it, but whatever. I wish them the best. You know what I'm saying? But, there's no doubt that the Raptors are playing with a chip on their shoulders, and it's a good thing for them to have that. You always need – there's nothing wrong with a little extra motivation in life. You know what I mean? Some people, when they fail – they get dejected and they give in to that dejection. You know what I mean? Or some people will want to bounce back and work even harder and try to overcome. I happen to be the latter. I happen to be the person that if I have any kind of setback, I don't dwell on it. I move on and I try to figure out something in the next wave. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those. And these guys the Raptors did not sit there and, oh, woe is us. We lost Kawhi. These guys took on the challenge, and they have played really well this season and have played like a team. Remember, they had young guys that were coming up around Kawhi, and so it's up to OG, it's up to Van Vliet, it's up to Siakam. These kind of guys have to now become the studs for that team, and maybe they take turns. Maybe Van Vliet turns in to that kind of shooter. OG turns into that player. Siakam already has shown us a lot. Can he take that next step to become a superstar? So that's kind of the quest for the Raptors, and we'll see if they can do that. As for the Heat, I'm not disappointed in what happened yesterday. I'm disappointed in the result. Okay, but I know that they played one hell of a team yesterday, and they played a good game yesterday. It wasn't like the Heat. It wasn't like they were the Panthers, put it that way. You know what I mean? It's like I'm proud of the Heat. I love what I'm seeing from the Heat and how young they are, and I expect them that as a team, even one of those plays that was between Butler and Dragon, which are the veterans on that team, but they made mistakes there. Well, you got to understand, they've only been playing together for a couple of months. And now you had a 4-month break in between of that. So we're not talking about guys that really know each other well and everything. So there's still a lot of learning to go on between the Miami Heat team. And overall, they've accomplished a lot. And they played a heck of a team yesterday. I got no problems. Disappointed with a lot. They didn't shoot well from three-point range, and they didn't defend well from three-point range. They shot 31%, and they allowed Toronto, obviously Van Vliet, to shoot 52% from the field, 50% from the field, 16 of 32 from the field. So, they gave them free rein there, and they let them be efficient. Now, that's been something that Miami has been up and down at times in the defending of that three-point range, and they've got to be a little bit more consistent, especially against a team like that. Although Van Vliet hit some threes that were like, dude, like 3-4 feet behind the damn line.
Once upon a time, we would call them CAGs.
Yeah. Wow, man, that was sick. But it's all right. It's all good. It's all good. Dragon had 25. Olynyk had 17. Butler had 16, 7, and 5 assists in the process. Let's see what they do. And tonight, Celtics, man, that's not easy either. Celtics are pretty damn good. They're favored by 3.5. They are minus 170. The Heat are plus 150. And the over and under is 222.5. And I would aim for the under in this one. You saw what happened yesterday, 107-103, 210 points. And yet the Raptors shot really well from three-point range. I think the defense from both teams here, if I had to lean somewhere, I might go with the under of 222.5 in this game, Celtics and Heat. 3.5, that's a tough number because I could easily lay it and I could easily take the points and Miami keeps it close enough to stay in there or maybe even surprises them, with a victory and on a back-to-back night or back-to-back day or whatever you want to call it, set for the Heat. It'll be interesting to see how they respond too in that sense. So we got basketball to talk about. We got Panthers at the top of the hour. We'll keep you updated on the game, and I'm sure, it may not be great news, but hopefully we'll see something out of the boys. Would be really, really nice. What do we got here on the roll call? John Rouse is in the house. He was first, man of 1,005 holes. Antonio Matos, Ian from Brooklyn. Thank you, Ian. Very kind. Saying best show in town. That's very nice. Mark McIntyre, Lewis Bryant says Atlanta is checking in. We love you, Lewis, out there in Atlanta. Thank you. Marta is checking in. I know Marta's a big Deadhead fan. The Grateful Dead have their concert on Tuesday nights on their YouTube channel every Tuesday. Josh is in the house. What up, Josh? Miguel Garcia. Gus 1388 says greetings from Fernandina Beach, Florida. Man of 1,005 holes says the Heat had 2 brain farts. Can't let it happen in the playoffs. Remember, they're young, dude. They're young. They're going to make mistakes. They're not while they've got talent, it's not like a team that's been playing for a long, long time and they haven't been in this kind of position. So you're going to see some mistakes. They're not going to be perfect. It's unfair to think that the first go around with all these young guys in the playoffs and they're going to be able to handle the situation the right way. They're going to make some mistakes. We got to be patient with the Heat. The good thing is they're making the playoffs at such a young stage of their existence. So this gives them the playoff experience, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way you got to look at it. The Panthers have been together forever already. You have to demand more from them. The Heat, they're giving you more than what you expect already as it is. If they can get through a round, that would be awesome. That would be phenomenal. Okay? I would temper the enthusiasm not the enthusiasm. I would temper the demands on the Heat. You have to be a little bit more big picture here with them, I think.
Remember, going into the season, we said if we're in a spot to host the first round of a playoff, that would be phenomenal. We're sitting there at 4.
Yeah, it's amazing. They did more than what they had to do already this year. Rich V says, what's up to everybody? David says 0 COVID cases so far in the NHL tournament stage in Toronto and Edmonton. NFL should play 2020 season in a bubble. Regina, Saskatchewan. Those January playoff games would be a killer. Well, they would need 32 bubbles, David, is the way that you would do it, Or you could do like LA could do both teams together. New York can do both teams together. If you have a city where they're both in the city, then maybe, save a little money. You have the one area together, and then that way you kind of, you can alternate practice schedules. You have more people interacting too, so there's a little bit more life in it. But that's the way you would have to do it, is individual bubbles is what we talked about. The president, Alexa V, is in the house. Matthew Walker is in.
He says, have you seen the video of the military dogs being trained to attack a man wearing a Kaepernick jersey? I have not seen that. And that doesn't sound like the kind of video I really want to watch. That's pretty disgusting. Alex Opiella says, you're right on Butler, man. He was the one who should have taken the shot, but he knows he can't, so he did the bitch thing and did not take the shot. Kenneth Cleveland is the first with a super chat. And Kenneth, by the way, says, good morning, Big O. Kenneth Cleveland in the house, live from the Boom Boom Room. So it's all about, Kenneth, stay in that Boom Boom Room, baby. It's always fun to be there. Troy Ortiz also in the house. Rosendo, prayers to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Samuel Robina, Big O. Hopefully the Cats don't lay an egg today. Checking in from Atlanta as well. Ray Grulong, howdy, Big O and Bill, everybody. Dougie Fresh in. Bill Dent from Crazy, California. So if you guys are crazy in California, what are we here in Florida? Because I thought we were the crazy ones. Bill? So if you guys are crazy, what are we, insane?
You know, when people from California say stuff like that, you know somebody in Florida is going, we got to step up our game.
Yeah.
We got to be even more stupid.
Yeah. That's so you're leading us to bad influences there, Bill. I love it. I'm you know what, Bill? I'm dying to go to California, my man. Because I love visiting California and going out there for a week. So eventually when this whole COVID damn thing is over, I am looking forward to traveling again. I was sitting there with my wife last night. You know, it's because we were talking about, because she was like, well, why doesn't football bubble up? And I go, they don't want to make the sacrifice. Baseball and football, they don't want to make a sacrifice. And you know, and I go, look at me. I'm sacrificing. I got to settle for concerts on YouTube. And she started laughing because she knows, you know, that if life was normal, there would be some kind of a plan in the next week, month, or 3 months from now where I'm traveling somewhere to go see a band or something, you know. But it's all kinds of sacrifices for all of us now. I'm watching concerts now on YouTube for the next year and a half because I won't be able to go to a live concert till I don't know when in 2021, man. It's got to be a really, really safe time for me to go.
I'm wondering, because I'm looking at it, the NBA is in a bubble, right? They're like the guinea pigs for all the other sports, like taking a look and seeing, right?
And hockey.
And hockey.
And MLS.
For the tournament.
Yeah.
They're estimating that the bubble's costing the NBA $1.5 million a day.
That's nothing.
I'm wondering if the NFL, because we know their greed is going, man, no, we can't do that. That's going to eat up our profit. We don't have anything coming in to be able to put that out. No, we can't do it.
That's not true, actually. They all got their TV money already. You know that, right?
Oh, so they're all sitting fat.
They're all the owners are their money. Dude,
it's guaranteed.
Their contracts are guaranteed.
It's incredible.
Like the TV deals have to be paid no matter what.
So if games get canceled because of some like this catastrophic occurrence,
the NBA sits
matter.
down and negotiates with the TV deals. The NHL sits down and negotiates TV deals. Major League Baseball sits down and negotiates TV deals. MLS sits down and negotiates TV deals. NFL dictates the deals. Okay, this is what we got for you this year. This is what you're going to be paying. Wasn't Saturn like that car company? Like, there was no haggling. That was the price.
That was their main thing.
That's the NFL. The NFL is telling you, here, this is what it cost. Okay, shut up. This is what it costs. You want on board? If not, we got somebody else.
They always do.
And if they don't, we got somebody else, and we got somebody else. So the NFL has all the money in the world to bubble up if they want to.
So there's absolutely no excuse for them to be playing this
in hockey, and I'll probably could throw an MLS too. Combined.
Yeah.
combined, they don't produce the revenue of the NFL.
Before all these IGAs, you know who was like that in the beer market? Budweiser.
Right.
The king of beers. You could take every beer, even their secondaries, combine them all, and Bud would outsell. Now, obviously, with IGAs, blah, it's changed.
Right.
But once upon a time, yeah.
Is it IGAs or is it IPAs?
IPAs, sorry.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Yes.
All right. I'm just going. Big O, you hear it first here. Gonna be no season, pal. It's second, bro, because I've been saying that for a while. No college season, and the NFL, I give them an inkling because agreed that they'll start it. There's no way they finish it, but those knuckleheads are going to start it. I mean, now when college starts practicing, it's over. It's over. That's what one guy gets COVID. He's not going to test positive. He's going to practice all day, hitting, sweating, and he's going to spread it. And those guys won't test positive either early on, and then they'll be spreading it. And if you think in baseball, we got one team that got 13, another team that got, was it 20 for the Marlins or 19? 19, right?
Yes, I think it's 19, yes.
Right, 17-2, right? They're 7-6. 7 players, 6 staffers in same. You think football's going to, come on.
When you look at 17 players, and even with the expanded roster out to 30, man, that's over half your team.
Yeah, that's why they've got a whole bunch of young guys.
And I keep thinking of Manfred sitting there at MLB Studios going, well, the biggest thing is upholding the integrity of the game. You just saw 17 guys. Where is the integrity?
There is no integrity. This baseball season is a joke. 60 games, bogus doubleheaders, all these COVID cases. Now the Marlins are 2-1. They're in first place, and now they're going to play a team, and they're going to have half their team gone. And so now they're really not as competitive as they were. So now they're losing games that maybe they could have won because of COVID. So how does that not take away from the game? How does that not make it now you stain everything that you're doing now?
I'm sorry, I have to correct you.
What's that?
They have us a game behind.
Okay.
They have us a game behind Atlanta.
Okay. All right. You know, when NFL players start showing positives for coronavirus in the season, you might change their minds to bubble up in their cities. Oh no, John, that's too late already. It's already been collectively bargained already. They're about to finish and sign it. In fact, the NFL announced that on Thursday they are going to be the deadline Thursday afternoon for players to announce that they are backing out of all of this. So expect, I would imagine in the next couple of days.
We're going to have an onslaught of guys.
Yeah, man, because there's already a whole bunch of guys that have stepped out. Now there's a whole bunch of them that if they're just thinking about it, they're going to go, you know what, we're out of here now. And I'm going to drop out. The question will be is after the deadline passes, it's what you said, John, and then the COVID cases start coming in, it's not about them bubbling up. How many of them are going to want to drop out? I said, no, I'm out of here. All you got to do is look at baseball. That's all. Look at baseball. They have no contact. And look what's going on. All that guys were dropping like flies, right? And so they wanted to push up the deadline to today or tomorrow. So they ended up settling on Thursday. And remember, the deal hasn't been signed yet. And it's supposed to be a week after you sign the deal. And they kind of want to change that already. And why? Because football players in general are not necessarily a great group of individuals when it comes to labor issues. They usually get smoked in those labor issues, and the owners know it. So they don't want guys thinking too much about this because eventually they might figure out, this is not good for me. I'm going to back out. So the owners who have taken advantage of players so much over the years, they want to make sure that, hey, let's push up this deadline so guys can't back out of it anymore and we can have the best possible season, because if we keep losing names, then that's going to be a problem. How do we – I mean, look at this. Look at the Patriots already. If you're a Patriots fan,
your season's over already. You're not going anywhere. I thought you were an 8-8 team already with everybody playing. I thought at best 8-8. Now, this is a 5-6 win team. If that. So we'll see.
So you're saying it's us and Buffalo battling for the East?
Yeah, well, no, it's Buffalo.
Okay,
It's Buffalo.
Come on, man.
Let's be objective on this show. Buffalo's supposed to be the divisional winner. Okay, I don't believe in Josh Allen at all, but their defense and their running game is dominant enough that they should be the divisional winner. Now,
right.
That's not to say that if things go well for Miami, they could easily challenge Buffalo for the division. I wouldn't put it past Miami for that. Hell, they won 5 games. I thought they would win 0.
Look at what they did with what they had. We definitely have more.
I love what they did in free agency. I love division, right? So that, that's a lot to ask for. But again, crazier things have happened. The Patriots continue to take a step back. Well, then if you beat them at full strength last year at home when they needed it, why can't you beat them twice this year? I told you already. I think the division's going to struggle to pass against the Dolphins. Dolphins have the best secondary in the division and one of the best secondaries in the NFL. Okay? So I do like what the Dolphins are doing, but, man, it's a lot to ask to say they're going to win 10 games. So I'm just going to say they're a little bit of a dark horse for that. And, by the way, I don't give the Jets any chance, just so you'll know. Okay, none. They're right there with the Patriots. They get nothing. Okay, as long as you got Adam Gase, as long as you have the great divider there, you're not going to get anywhere. Okay? So I give the Dolphins a chance, but respectfully, this is the Bills' division to lose.
You know what my win total is for the season?
What's that?
Whatever you say, +5.
Okay, that's pretty good. You might be right on target. Big O, no one can argue the NFL is greedy, but it takes 2 to tango, and the NFLPA is willing to negotiate for the right price too. Well, the owners are greedy, the players are dumb. It's the difference. That's the difference right there. Yes, the owners are going to take advantage of all of this every time they can. They'll keep head injuries away from players for 30 years. They'll do all. Hey, you saw what happened? The San Francisco 49ers, they signed Reed yesterday, the tight end. Yeah. So the Niners now signed a guy that has 7 concussions in his history. The NFL doesn't give a crap about players at all. Okay? That's why they signed Jordan Reed. That's why they allow, and they've got one of the best tight ends in the NFL, if not the best tight end. It's Kelsey and him. He's more complete than Kelsey because he's a better blocker, actually, than Kelsey. But as a receiver, but you see this yesterday that the Niners sign. Listen, if this league actually cared about players, then Jordan Reed would have been banned from football after a few concussions. He's got 7 registered concussions, which you and I know registered means he's got a lot more that they didn't register. It's probably 10, 12, 14. And the Niners go and sign him. Jordan Reed doesn't know any better. This is what he does. This is all he does for a living. Clearly, he feels he has no other skill set. So this is the only way he can make money. So he's willing to put the entirety of his life on the line. A guy that has already 7 registered concussions, maybe way more. This is a guy that is playing with Alzheimer's and dementia and all of that. That's not very smart. And the NFL has an opportunity to help him, but they don't care. So you can say that the players are greedy, but I would tell you they're not very smart. And that's why they get taken advantage of all the time. And while Jordan Reed thinks he's getting some kind of a break here. He's not.
All 32 teams do, like this league does with players. They don't care. It's all about greed. That's why they're going hell-bent on this season, because they've got their money already from the TV companies, and they want to give them the 16 games. And if they can give them the 16 games, then they have reached their obligations, and they don't care. And teams will be missing a whole bunch of players as the season goes on. And players will end up dropping out. As guys get this virus, and okay, let me give you the scenario that has not happened yet. You brought it home and you gave it to your son, your daughter, your wife, your grandfather, your grandmother, your mother-in-laws, and you created a real problem in your house. Okay? So when that happens and somebody's family member suffers something from it, 2 kids just died from COVID. I don't know if you guys keep up with the news, but 2 kids died from COVID recently, yesterday. And I'm not wishing it on anybody. I'm just saying it's the inevitable. You're not going to be hitting and running around with a whole bunch of sweaty guys that are breathing on you. You're breathing on them, and the virus is not going to transfer. And then you're not testing positive, and you're going to go home. I saw where Denver has a booth. It's called a misting booth. And it's like, it's one of those x-ray things, right? And you walk right through it and it's misting you. And supposedly it kills the COVID virus. So I'm looking at that and I'm going, so what happens when the virus is inside your throat and your lungs already and your body? How's the misting device going to help you then?
Just do like President Trump said, get it in you.
Yeah, just drink some bleach.
Just open your mouth.
Yeah, just drink some bleach. That'll help out.
Look. You walk in with a cup, an empty cup, catch some of the mist and drink it on your way out.
What happens then? I saw that misting machine and it's like mental masturbation. Paja mental. That's just a dress. That's just something that you've created for the illusion that this is making it safer. Yet, it's funny. Like we don't want electronic ballots, right? Not we, but the president. And he's saying the corruption and this and that and all that. And, also the mail-in ballots also keeps people from, going to polling places and then thousands of people and you could spread the virus, right? But yet we're willing to send our kids to freaking school and pack the classrooms. Did you see that school that opened 2 days ago? Was it on Friday? They opened and they had to close right away because they had a whole bunch of cases of COVID. Kids brought it to the school. What do you think? It's kids. The biggest carriers in the world. And they're going to spread it. There's no common sense here, man. Look at the teams look at the leagues in the bubble and look at baseball without a bubble. And without a bubble, in a week and a half, baseball has 10 times the cases that soccer, basketball, and hockey have right now. 100 times the cases, and we can't even get to 100 yet. It's ridiculous. They get no cases in the bubble. Why? Because they've controlled the environment. Baseball has no contact like hockey, like basketball, like soccer, and they're not getting any. I never cared about their players. They never have. They never will. They only go as far as they publicly need to. But in the back rooms where all the decisions are made, they don't care about players. They don't care about them. They're there to use them up as long as they need, and then they get rid of them. And that's it. And if you have 10 concussions, they'll find a way of clearing you. And if you smacked your wife, hey, we'll suspend you for 2 games and we'll see if we get away with it. But since you didn't get away with it, they had to then suspend them for real. That's football, man. They don't care about women. They don't care about players. They only care about the bottom line. That's it.
So if you feel this way about this misting machine, tell me how you feel about, we're taking your temperature. You're okay.
I
Clear.
know.
Go.
That's another one. Wow. So you happen to catch somebody that has a temperature at that moment. Great. That's fantastic. You know how many people don't test and they have it and they're spreading it? It happens all the time now. We all know it. So the fact that we know people can literally not test positive for a couple of days, have it in them, spread it, they still go on and do this. They don't care. Never have. Let's take a quick break because it's already 11:36.
You know what's the biggest problem at school?
What?
Little Johnny can't keep his hand out of his nose.
That's right. That's right. And you gotta you keep picking and picking for that nugget, and then you're spreading the virus and the nugget. All right, let's take a break. Back with more right here on the Big O Show.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika.
So that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we're back. I love it. Dougie Fresh goes, hey, John Rouse, can you bring me a whiskey and a portable AC unit? David says, misting will only capture tiny airborne COVID droplets to become heavier and fall to the ground rather than remaining suspended in the air. Useless. You're in a telephone booth. That's why it's crazy, everything that's going on. And we are the ones that look like absolute clowns all over the world because of everything going on. Well, what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? That's this whole COVID thing has just turned everything upside down for us. Look at Derek Jeter. Let's talk a little Marlins as they get ready for the Baltimore Orioles tonight at 7:35, which is so good to have some baseball. Well, I mean, I've been watching baseball. I've been watching your stinking Yankees because they're fun to watch, actually. It's just fun to watch a lineup like that all the time.
Kicking ass and taking names, buddy.
Yeah, another win yesterday. Yesterday the Marlins and Derek Jeter had a press conference, and a lot of people have been laying the blame on the Marlins that they went out partying and all that. There's no proof whatsoever, okay? And they were saying the same thing about the Nationals, and there's also no proof of the Nationals either partying. Derek Jeter had to address those comments yesterday. Let's hear from the J-Man.
Our guys were not running all around town after our game in Atlanta. So I need to ask that stop. They don't deserve that. We did have a couple individuals leave the hotel. In our review, it was determined we had guys leave to get coffee, to get clothes. The guy left to have dinner at a teammate's house. There was no salacious activity. There was no hanging out at bars, no clubs, no running around Atlanta. I hope people look at what happened to us and they use that as a warning, and just see how quickly this is able to spread between a particular group if you're not following the protocols 100%. I mean, you can't let your guard down whatsoever.
There's cameras everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. If they were partying, if they were at clubs or whatever, somebody would have caught them. Okay? That's the way of the world. And I believe Jeter here, and I believe this also. What those guys went through is what you go through every day. You, not me, you. Bill goes through it. Everybody. We're no different. We could catch this stupid thing when we're at the drive-thru. That person that person handing you the money, giving you back your credit card, whatever. They're asymptomatic. They don't know it. McDonald's doesn't know it. Burger King doesn't know it. Denny's doesn't know it. Wherever they work, they don't know it. And then they pass it on to you. You touch something in an elevator. You get it. You don't know. It could happen to any of us. It is a mission every day for all of us to stay COVID-free. It is. You know it, and I know it. We live it every day. These 2 days, I don't have to wear a mask because I'm home. Okay? I'm home, and the same dude comes here every day, every week, and because he's hanging out at home, and I'm hanging out at home. Neither one of us are out with any other people, really. So we're not at risk. But then the next 3 days, we're cleaning chairs, we're putting on masks, we're distanced from everybody else, we're paranoid like everybody else. I go to the bathroom at least twice in every show to go wash my hands. Maybe I might do a little number one, maybe, you know what I mean? But I'm going to wash my hands. I'll go to the bathroom, whether I am doing number one, but guaranteed I'm going to go to the bathroom a couple of times to wash my hands. And if not, Jerky here has antiseptic, and I use the antiseptic right there at the table. You know what I mean? But it's a mission that I go through, that you go through, and so do those players. And whether the guy got it at dry cleaning, another guy went to a friend of his house to have dinner. That might have been where that might have been case zero right there. He went to go see a friend, and maybe somebody in that household had it. He didn't know it. He sat in the same chair somebody did or whatever, and boom, you got it. You just never know. And it's a thing that if you get it, I can't blame anybody for getting it. Now, if you're in the pool in the Ozarks and you want to go protesting without a mask and hundreds and thousands of people, well, then you're an idiot. If you want to go support Trump, fine, it's great. Go ahead, have fun. But if you do it without a mask, then you're a moron. You want to go to South Beach and hang out with all the other dingbats? Go ahead. You don't want to wear a mask? Go ahead. I hope they fine you at least before you get COVID. Because I don't want you to get COVID, but I do want you to get fined. Plenty of people are doing stupid things all over. I just told you they're going to have that event in South Dakota. And 500,000 people on average show up. So whether it's 200, 300, 400 that show up this year, they're going to show up, and a lot of them are going to be without masks. How does that help? So it's tough enough for all of us to follow the rules, clean our hands, keep our masks on, keep distance, all of that, so we can stay away from the virus. It gives us, there's a good chance we can stay away from the virus that way, but it's not perfect. Now, if you're hanging out with a whole bunch of people without a mask, of course you're going to get it, dude. Guaranteed. That's money in the bank that you will end up with it.
You're making me paranoid about just going through the drive-thru now.
But it's the truth.
You know what? When I get my food, I put it down. I wash my hands.
Right.
I grab the bag, I go in the house, I set the food down, take it out of the bag, throw the bag away, go wash my hands, get the food out of the bag, wash my hands again, grab the food on my plate, walk in the room.
Yeah, I know. You got no choice.
I become so conscious of
You have no choice.
where I touch, where is that touch getting transferred to?
You have no choice. Okay? None. I get it.
That's
By the way,
like almost being, paranoid, man.
Julius 305, thank you, sir. He got me a dolphin mask. Julius 305. I don't know if Julius, are you watching? Let me see if you have chimed in. I don't know if Julius 305 is on, but Julius 305 did some. I didn't bring my keys either. I got to go get them downstairs. But he got me a mask. How about that? Now, this is a cool mask. This is the thicker brand, which I like a lot. It may be not good for broadcast because it might be a little too thick. This is like my Greta Van Fleet one. I have a Greta Van Fleet that's like this. It's adjustable back here, so it's really cool. And it's a great material. It's a nice, long-lasting, washable material. So thank you. And he was obviously... Julius 305 knows that I cannot stand the new logo. I would never wear the new logo. So he got me a mask with an old logo, that was really, really nice. He also got me, because we were talking about this and it reminded me of it. I got to go get my keys because I put it on my keychain. Julius also got me this thing that you add to your keys and it'll grab a door handle. If it's one of those, not the round ones, but if it's a regular handle to open it, it's got a point so you can use it to hit your numbers in the ATM, the elevator, something. So you don't have to, like I always tell you guys, use your knuckle, right? Now I don't even have to use my knuckle anymore. I got my keys. I just use the thingamajig that Julius 305 gave me. So very nice of you. You guys are spoiling me, man. You guys are too nice. I appreciate you immensely. So Julius 305, thank you. I don't know if you're on or not. I never know because a lot of you tune in and then, sometimes you're not because you got a life and you may not be able, like Myron. I wanted to show him the book. I don't think he saw the book till, like a week later we had it. You know what I'm saying? So one of those deals. But thank you all out there, as always, for spoiling me. And Julius 305, thank you. I'll show you that thing that he gave me in one of the breaks when I go downstairs to get my keys, okay? But thank you very much, Julius 305. Very, very nice of you. Tomorrow, by the way, if you want to meet us and come on by, we'll be at VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. Come on by and say hi. 20% off if you mention my name. If you buy anything you want to buy, 20% off. But I would love to meet you. And we got to keep a little distance, wear your mask and say hi, all that good stuff. But would love to meet you. So come on by, man. We'll be out there at VSS West Pines. Thursday, we'll be out at Toyota of Hollywood like we are every Thursday. Friday, we'll be at Craig's Inn, Acura of Pembroke Pines. So it's a beautiful thing. Jack says, I had a family friend hanging out in the Keys this past weekend on a boat with a bunch of people and posted all over social media. He got pissed because I said he can't come over the house. You did the right thing. He may be a carrier at the moment. You're right. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Hang around the same people. You don't want to be hanging around people that you don't know where they've been, even if they're your family members. And if you are, no shaking hands, no hugging, wear a mask. That's it. Big O, do you think the COVID is real or a government conspiracy? Just kidding. Nice classic logo, Ray Gurulong says. Yes. Super Boom Shack says, Julius 305 is in the Everglades picking up a package for me. Was it dropped by an airplane? Nice mask. Yes, thank you. Rich V says, they are talking about canceling Biketoberfest here in Daytona Beach, similar Bike Week in Sturgis. Wow. But I didn't know Biketoberfest had a whole bunch of concerts. They have that too? I know about I've heard of Biketoberfest in Daytona. That thing is enormous, bro. But I didn't know that it came with a whole bunch of bands too. I didn't know that. I got to check that out. one day because then I got to go up there because it's Daytona. It's not that. I love Daytona. I love Daytona, man. That's a cool little town, man. Should be in that VIP tent in Davie watching practice. I don't know what that means, but I hope you are. That way you can enjoy 2 or 3 practices they're going to have before they have to cancel everything. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line, 786-322-1105. Mark says, I'm sure your wife knows that you are worth spoiling, Big O. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, I can't argue. She actually went to Chick-fil-A this morning and brought me a biscuit. So it's she even spoils me too. So I'm a lucky guy, man. I can't argue. I'm a lucky guy. Oh, when is the discussion happening about your Tiger Beast photo shoot on Twitter? Oh, Tiger Beat, you mean, photo shoot on Twitter. Ah, yes. Well, that's I look like the guy in Stripes. Hulk, not Hulk. It's John Candy, but I forgot his character's name in Stripes. So yeah, that's me when I was on Tiger Beat. Let's see.
Ox, wasn't it Ox?
Ox, yeah. I just got my Dolphins face mask. It has 5 layers with 2 4 filters. Nice. Now the question is, John, does it have the old logo or does it have the new logo? Okay? Because that one sounds to me new logo-ish. I have not seen one that has the filters and everything with the old logo. I would love that. Because that's like an N95 or N99 mask. That's I haven't been able to find one of those. Every time there's an N95 or N99 mask, it's with the new logo. And I can't stand that logo. I won't wear that. Okay. Let's see. Concerts at Destination Daytona. Oh, they are. Nice. Okay. Lighten Up Francis. Oh, are you talking about not Lighten Up France, but you're talking about the Stripes movie. Okay, Lighten Up Francis. I got you.
If any of
the
you,
name is Psycho.
If any of you touch me, I'll kill you.
I'll kill you. He does say something that's, you don't use that line anymore now.
You see that I didn't say that.
You can't say it nowadays. Any of you touch me, and I'll kill you. Let's see. It has the old logo. I don't like the new one. Oh, dude, you got to, John, send me the link where you bought it. Send it to my email, orlando@bigoradioshow.com. You got it, John? Send me that link. Wherever you bought it, send me that link. I need it. Okay? If any of you find an N95, N99 Dolphin mask with the old logo on it, send me that link. Okay? I would love to have one of those. That would be fantastic. So please, that would be really cool. I'll buy one of those. I bought one of these. It's not this one. I haven't gotten it yet. I'm still waiting for it because it takes forever. I mean, there's stuff that I've ordered like 5, 6, 7 weeks ago, and it's now starting to trickle in. It's crazy, dude, how some of this stuff is taking forever to get here. And so I would love to get an N95 or N99 mask that has the old Dolphin logo. That would be fantastic. That would be a beautiful thing. Yes?
If you happen to get one with the new one, what would you do?
Give it away?
Okay.
I'm not going to throw it away.
Okay.
I'm going to throw it away. I got one. I told you the story. I'm broadcasting at Dolphins camp. There's no, I am who I am, dude. You know what I mean? I don't change. Okay? Dolphin executive comes. Hey, great to have you here. And Brandon, good to have you guys here. Here's some stuff. So they gave me a shirt and a hat with the new logo. The guy standing right next to me. Like, here, Brandon, you can have it, bro. It's all yours. Appreciate it, man. I'm sorry I don't wear the new logo. I told him. Straight up. Got an umbrella with the old logo. Okay? Amazon. This was like 3 years ago. And they send me the umbrella, and dude, it has the new logo on it. I lost my shit. I send them a text, an email actually, or whatever it is on Amazon, and I said, hey, the picture is the old logo. You send me the umbrella with the new logo, which I can't stand. I want to return this. I want my money back. They send me back a text a couple of hours later. We apologize. We have the old logo umbrella. We're going to do this. You keep that umbrella, and we're going to send you the other umbrella with the old logo. And sure enough, they sent it to me. And they sent me the old logo, and I was super happy. Boom. The new logo, gave that crap away. Wouldn't use it if my life depended on it. So, don't want it. Don't want it.
I was going to say, that's the one you use when you're going out in a hurricane, and it'll get destroyed. You know, that's the throwaway one.
I don't because I may be dead at that moment from the hurricane, and then the lasting picture is me holding on to a dolphin umbrella with the new logo. No. And then people are going to say, you see, he hated the logo, and the logo in the end ended up killing him. So, no, I'm not doing that.
There's orcas all over the world not happy with it.
Oh, well, that's the way it is. Screw orca. Okay? Now, if I die with the old logo, they're going to say, you see, the guy went all the way to his death with the old logo. He believed in his logo. And that's it. That's how it goes. Big O, I hope Garfinkel changes the crappy logos. He will. He will. He's in the you got to listen to our last interview with him because I asked him about it. And listen to it. Listen to how he even says, well, that logo was there before I got here. So Garfinkel kind of reminds people, hey, I had nothing to do with this, okay? It's not me, dude, okay?
Can't blame me for that one.
Yeah, there's a legal deal with it that you have to have in a certain amount of years before you can change it again. So the Dolphins have to go through that window whether they like it or not. But once that window's done, something tells me you're going to see the old logo come back. Maybe a little modernized, a little tweak like they did in the 90s with it. But whatever, that's this one. That's this one. That's the 90s one. I got no problem with this one.
Hey, if they make it like
I love this one.
The throwback new jerseys, if they make the old logo like got no problem at all,
man.
Because those jerseys look awesome.
This is different than the original Dolphin.
Yes. Because he has a little meaner face.
Yeah.
They put like anger in his brow.
I got no problem with that. And the circle's a little different without the lines and all that. But whatever. But I love this logo. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the tweak that they did in the 90s. I got no problem with that. But the new logo? Oh, no, dude. I can't, bro. I can't. All right, let's take a break. 1 hour down already. When we come back, we got a bunch of things to talk about. I got to talk about an NFL player that normally says a lot of stupid things, but actually something smart came out of his mouth. I got to talk about two quarterbacks that how they describe themselves may not be something that is as flattering as it should be. Let's see what else. We got a couple of an XFL note I want to share with you guys. Somebody in the athletic world, do they have a death wish? I got to ask you about that. What if you were married and you had a younger wife in...
All right, we back. Ah, yes. King Shore says, wearing my old logo bandana today. It is so awesome. My favorite. Anybody know where they are for sale? It's the old logo ones are that's always for me, anything Dolphins that I want to find, I have to try to ask for it in an old logo. And I always have fun because whenever people post things, car seat covers, whatever, and it has the new logo, I always comment, really nice if it was the old logo, ruined because of the new logo, because that's exactly what it is. Everything gets ruined with that new logo. Big O, it's been over 5 years with that logo. They're just trying to milk it as much as they can. No, they can't milk it as much as they can. Miami Kid J, they have to keep it, I think it's like 10 years until you can make the switch. Now, I think you can file for the claim like 7 or 8 years in or something like that. But they have no choice. They have made the mistake. And listen, a bunch of you buy the damn terrible logo anyway. So in a way, Miami Kid J, I can't argue with milking it because they are milking it. But I still think they would sell more if they had the old logo in it. Because anything old logo, people just chomp up. And most people I run into are like me, that there are some of you out there that you don't mind the new logo. You like it to a certain extent, but you love the old logo. And then there's a lot of you like me also that, you don't like the new logo. You just want the old logo, period. So we'll see what ends up happening. But eventually, I think it will. Okay? That's one that, we asked them the kind of questions that they can ask at QAM. Okay? There you go. What does that mean? What do you mean a logo contest? Like what logo's better? Like the new or old? Is that what you're saying? Want the pre-97 logo returned, please. I don't know, man. You might get something along those lines down the line. I just think it eventually will happen. All right, 786-322-1105 on the text line, 786-322-1105. I've got the Panthers-Islanders game on, so we hopefully will see the Panthers win. It would be really, really nice. Look, I don't think they're going to win this series anyway, but if they wanted a shot at winning this series, this is a must-win. I know mathematically you're not out of it because you can win 3 in a row. I have a hard time believing they're going to win 3 or 4. So why the hell would I ever think they're going to win 3 in a row? You know what I'm saying? So give me some hope, Panthers. Something you haven't done in a long, long time. Give me hope. Win today, please. Would be nice. I don't want to be talking about another stinking loss with the damn Florida Panthers. When I checked earlier in the morning, there was no pitcher. Now there is. Pablo Lopez will be taking on John Means tonight at 7:35, Marlins and Baltimore. Means, by the way, has no wins, no losses, but has a robust 19.29 ERA. So he is obviously one hell of a pitcher. Masterful in his handling of Antonio Brown. So the other day we heard John Harbaugh say, I respect Lamar's process. But we have to, like any player, we will see, and we don't even know if he's available. And by the way, he's got an 8-game suspension already. So whoever signs him, from the moment they sign him, he has to start serving those 8 games. So if they sign him in the next couple of weeks before the season starts, he can miss the first 8 games. If they sign him in week 6, he'll miss the next 8 games after that. But he's also still being investigated for a couple of other things. So he may have other suspensions coming down the line. Baltimore's kind of said, whatever, we'll, if we have 8 guys get injured at the wide receiver spot, then maybe we'll think about him. That's kind of what he said in a way, if you wanted me to break down what John Harbaugh said. So the next guy is Pete Carroll. So Pete Carroll, of course, Russell Wilson worked out with him because, as you all know, Antonio Brown worked out with practically every quarterback in the NFL in the offseason begging for a job. So Carroll and General Manager John Schneider are all over and indicated the team is open to a possibility, even if it isn't rushing to seal the deal right away. He goes, it's a very complex situation. We just need to see how it fits somewhere down the road. That's all I got for you. So again, in other words, well, if we suffer a massive amount of injuries at the position, then maybe we can think about bringing that cancer in here and working it out at that point. But that's all I got for you. Down the road. In other words, there are no plans right now to bring Antonio Brown on. Not in Baltimore and not in Seattle at the moment. Now, Seattle is, I think there's a story out there already that Seattle's kind of like open to bringing back, Josh Gordon, which is just absolutely ridiculous that you would think about bringing Josh Gordon back. And we had this conversation already. They're very open. This is how it said, re-signing Josh Gordon, if reinstated by the NFL. Pete Carroll confirmed on Monday, it's not in our hands. Josh did a really good job with us last year. He fit in really well. He was part of this team by the way we opened and embraced him coming to us, but also by the way he adapted. So we are very open to that thought, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. I can't tell you what's going to happen on that. Now, the one thing that Pete said in that statement that goes with what that is opposite of Antonio Brown and something Antonio cannot provide is this part. He fit in really well. He was part of this team by the way we opened and embraced him coming to us, but also by the way he adapted. So what his behavior outside of his substance abuse must have been acceptable to Pete Carroll. You know what I'm saying? Now, it does get to a point with Josh Gordon as the years roll on that you keep taking chances on a guy that can't stay in the lineup and really hasn't produced big numbers on a consistent basis for a long, long time. You have so much to play for. You have so much on the line, even if this season may not happen because of COVID. But as a team, if you're the Seahawks, why do you want to put people that are unreliable? And why do you want to put them in a position that you have to count on them? And that's the problem with Antonio Brown. He has proven to be unreliable because he is not balanced as a human being. And Josh Gordon has proven to be unreliable because he has addictions. And that's the part I don't understand. He didn't come through for the Patriots. He didn't come through for the Browns. And you look at Antonio Brown, he wore out his welcome in Pittsburgh, couldn't actually conform in Oakland, and couldn't get it done also in New England. So how many more chances do you have to give these kind of losers that are not coming through for you? And that's the track record that they have now. They have a track record of unreliability. And that's the part that when I see Seattle, and it's like, really, dude? I mean, even San Francisco. Jordan Reed is unreliable because physically he can't hold up. And every hit is a risk for him because every hit could rattle his head and give him a concussion, and he's out. So he's unreliable because he's not durable. And you're San Francisco, you already have the 1A or 1B tight end in the NFL for whatever argument's sake you want to get into. Why not just get another guy that's reliable? That just in case something happens to Kittle, we can count on him. You can't say that about Jordan Reed. His body can't. His body's writing checks, or he's writing checks his body can't cash. Put it that way. Okay? Or San Fran's writing checks that his body can't cash. But whatever. If that's what you want to do, I'm all good for second chances. Maybe even a third if the person's worth it.
The problem is Antonio Brown and Josh Gordon are not worth it. Antonio Brown's not worth it as a human being, and Josh Gordon is not worth it because he's too much of a burden. Okay? I've already told you this. Josh Gordon needs to focus on Josh Gordon, not playing football anymore. Football, he can't handle football. That's already been proven over and over again. He can't handle football. He needs to keep his life really simple. Okay? And it needs to be away from football where he's just focused on staying away from drugs and alcohol is what he needs to do.
All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the text line, that's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the text line, and you can reach out to us. It was funny because on YouTube, one of our listeners, and I let me make sure I get his name right, but he was commenting on Fitzpatrick on a segment I did yesterday, and he was dead wrong on talking about Fitz, and what he was kind of like saying that Fitz has not done anything for the team and improve players around. And he goes, every quarterback's job always to teach and make players around them better. Fitz never Fitz fan, or maybe he is. I'm not exactly sure. But to say that Fitzpatrick did not make people better last year is asinine, because Mike Gesicki did things he couldn't do the year before. Devontae Parker under Fitzpatrick. So to say that, oh, and by the way, the team won games under Fitzpatrick down the stretch. How many plays did he keep alive with his legs, scrambling around or running? How did he not make the team better? Those 5 wins, if we start Josh Rosen all 16 games, let's be honest, maybe 1 win? Maybe. It might be 0-16 with Josh Rosen. Not sure. But to say that Fitz, I mean, look, if you're a hater of the Dolphins, that's fine, and I understand it. If you are not a believer of Fitz, which, by the way, I was one of those guys that was like, hey, he's just here. He's just a bridge guy for a couple games. Get him the hell out, and Rosen's going to move on, and they're going to, try to develop Rosen. And that was not the case. And he has meant a lot to all these guys. I mean, part of developing as a person as you grow up is to look at yourself and saying, I screwed up. I made a mistake here. All right, it's all right. None of us are made perfect. None of us are going to be perfect. And I was one of those guys that I was against Fitz. Not against bringing him. I understood as a bridge guy, fine, whatever. But I never really understood the big picture, which we talked about yesterday with him. And, when I saw that from that listener, Life is a Gamble, that Fitz didn't do anything to improve the team, come on, man. How are you going to say that, dude? Fitz did a really good job last year. A lot better than I ever expected. It's all right to admit you're wrong. Okay? It is. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all going to be wrong a whole bunch of times. Let's see. Dougie Fresh says, I got a concussion watching Salma Hayek dance with that snake in Dawn Till Dusk. Yeah, that snake dance with Salma Hayek made men do all kinds of things. Yep. Super Boom Shack. That's just wrong. Jordan Reed got a concussion drinking water. That is just wrong. Matthew Walker says, then I would hate to see you after Halle Berry and Monsters Ball. Yeah, that was another one of those scenes that, yep. King Short says, I was pole vaulting across the room when Selma came out there.
Salma Hayek might be one of the hottest women in the history of women, period. Her and Halle Berry have got to be like God is up there. Like when he Salma Hayek and Halle Berry, like the good Lord's up there going, huh? Who the hell's Picasso? Get that clown out of here. Look at that. Can he design anything better than Salma Hayek and Halle Berry? Get out of here, Picasso. Any painter, any kind of artist, God sits back and says, you guys have nothing on me. Okay? Check out Halle Berry. Huh? That's some of my best work right there, buddy. Let's go.
So the Reverend in Coming to America is all about that God. Oh,
yeah.
Only God can do that.
Yes, exactly. That's right. All these artists, it doesn't matter who it is. You're painting the Sistine Chapel. Nah, that's not impressive.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Go look at Salma Hayek. Yep. Troy Ortiz is going three-way. Halle Berry, Salma, and Finn Super Bowl championship. You know what? You could just die right after that, and you're all right. Salma, Halle, and the Dolphins win a Super Bowl title. That's it. I'm good. You can take me. Anyway, the Lord's going to be pissed as it is. Yo, man, you're messing with my artistry here. What's going on? Best part about Halle Berry is she can wake up out of bed and her hair can be all disheveled and she's got eye boogers and whatever. And she'll still be hot, bro.
Even with eye boogers, man.
Even with eye boogers. She'll be still. You pick the list. You're with Halle Berry, bro. You're partying. You're good. You're good. Eye boogers and all.
I'm walking over with a wet rag. Got to get rid of the eye boogers.
That's fine.
Got to.
That's fine. And she'll try to clean up your damn throat, too. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. As always, follow us there, ladies and gentlemen. Big O Show on Twitter. Let me see what RVA has got for me. Jordan Reed will be the first to sue for concussions. But you know what? He's got a case because he's stupid enough to play with them, but the NFL is insulting enough to continue to give him jobs and put him more in a medical dire situation down the line in his life. I'm still waiting on my Tua throwback Miami Dolphins jersey. I'm with you, dude. I'm still waiting on mine. But I can't complain. I think mine said like November. So what am I, right? I think I told you November, right? I'm pretty sure my email said November.
We were talking all about, are you going to get it before Thanksgiving or after?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I can't say I'm, complaining about it because they already warned me like, hey, listen, you're not getting your jersey for a long ass time. Just want you to know that. And so I'm kind of like prepared not to have the jersey for a long, long time, So that's where I would tell you that as much as I would like to complain with you, I can't complain because right now they're on time. Let's see. Watch out, talking other women could make you less spoilable at home with the wife. The wife, hey, listen, the wife loves me. I love her. She knows about my, my Halle Berry crush, my Jennifer Aniston crush, my Jessica Alba crush. She knows about some of the ladies that I find very attractive. She also knows I have no shot. So she doesn't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Teddy Bridgewater was interviewed, and he was talking about, how he replaced Cam, and then Cam is now in New England, right?
So he was asked about, taking over, and he goes, one of my biggest problems I had my first year in New Orleans was I wanted to be like Drew. Bridgewater said Monday in a conference, telling Miles Simmons, he says, I had to do everything Drew did in order to have success like Drew, but eventually I learned that Drew Brees is Drew Brees, and I'm Teddy Bridgewater. Cam Newton is Cam Newton. I'm still Teddy Bridgewater. So I can't go out there and try to be something that I'm not. I play the game the way I play it. I carry myself the way I carry myself, and I'm going to live and die by that, which I respect that immensely, because he cannot be what others are, because he may not be good enough to do those things. And he goes, I credit that to owner David Tepper, Marty, Coach Rule, and the coaching staff here. They've made this transition smooth. They told me from jump, hey, this is your team, and the guys will go as I go. Just being around the guys a couple of days already, they're feeding off my energy, and I'm feeding off their energy, so it definitely feels like my team. Now, I'm a huge Teddy Bridgewater fan of the person. The player I've never been impressed with at the NFL level. At the high school and college level, the guy's a superstar. Okay? And I know he has the mind to play this game, just like Ken Dorsey. But I also know he does not have the arm or the athleticism, just like Ken Dorsey, to be an elite quarterback. That's why he never had an explosive offense in Minnesota. Do I need to go to the stats? I mean, I don't think I need to go to the stats. They're very pedestrian. Okay? The interceptions are almost equal to the touchdowns. And in New Orleans, when he filled in, I believe he threw 9 touchdowns in 5 games. That's less than 2 touchdowns a game. So unless Teddy Bridgewater, he can say, hey, I'm Teddy and Cam is Cam, let me explain something about that statement. If Cam wants to be Cam, Cam's not going to last long in this league anymore, because at this age, the pounding he's taken, he cannot be the running quarterback that passes the ball. Inaccurate. If he does that, the tenure in New England will not be a long one. It'll be a short one. And as for Teddy Bridgewater, as much as I like him as a person, that's as much as I do not believe in him as an NFL quarterback. He is just a guy. Nothing more, nothing less. He's a jag. All right? And this is not the guy that in today's NFL, where you got to light it up, unless he's got Derrick Henry and, let's see, Ezekiel Elliott. Okay? If he's got Ezekiel Elliott and Derrick Henry in the backfield, where it would be, and give me the Dallas line from the mid-90s with those 2 running backs, then I would tell you, hey, Teddy Bridgewater can be competitive because he's got a ground game that's unstoppable. And obviously with the Dallas line and those 2 running backs, you would be unstoppable. And Teddy would only have to be a little bit of a facilitator throughout the game. You know, kind of like the guy that plays in Tennessee. Anyway, so maybe with that you can get far with Teddy. But in today's NFL, you got to be able to play Drew Brees point for point and better him. You got to play Aaron Rodgers point for point and then better him. And the same thing with Russell Wilson. No, that's not going to happen. So as much as I like Teddy Bridgewater's got a lot to prove, because he's never proven to be an explosive quarterback. He's proven to be a jag. Nothing special. And in New Orleans, for that 5-game stretch, I tell you, he did a nice job of facilitating. The team carried his ass. That's not enough to be a quarterback in this league. You can win some, maybe you can sneak into the playoffs, but a guy like that is not going to do any damage in the NFL. And as for Cam Newton, he's playing with Oompa Loompas now.
He was never an accurate quarterback. That's why he always had big, long, lanky receivers. So Cam Newton is Cam Newton and Teddy Bridgewater is Teddy Bridgewater. Well, the holes in your game are going to stand out big time if you can't change your game, if you can't take it to a next level. So, Cam, if you can learn to pass from the pocket accurately and run less and beat people with your arm, the run in New England will end quickly. And Teddy Bridgewater, if you're not explosive like you've never been in your life, then your tenure in Carolina won't last long either. Because eventually, Matt Rule's going to go, yeah, our offense is not enough. We need something better. And that's what happened. That's happened to other quarterbacks, and it's going to happen to Teddy. So it's nice to, say, hey, I got to be myself, but you better be better than yourself. Teddy. Way better. Let's see.
I'll take smarts because it can make you money. Then you can buy looks. Cheers, Big O crew and chatter. All right. I got no looks and no money, so I am screwed either way. Let's see. Herman says, my Dolphin jersey also says November. Can I call the show, Big O? Yeah, this show needs phones, okay? Because I got to call, and, I got things to say. What happened to that? That guy came and went, right? I think Sophia's voice is sexy, especially if I'm doing her. You guys are twisted. Let's see. I remember when Dolphin fans wanted Bridgewater drafted because he had ties to South Florida. Thank goodness that didn't happen. Yeah, I remember that too. I'm mailing out stuff to Dougie Fresh and Drew Boo today. Where's the other super chatters at? Super chatters, reach out to Mark. Reach out to Mark. And did Kenneth Cleveland reach out to you? Kenneth Cleveland is a hardcore super chatter too. So reach out to my man Mark, and he is going to make something special happen, which nobody's more special than Mark. NorCal is one amazing dude, man. He really is. Wait till you all meet Mark in person and get to hang out with him and stuff next year for the Hall of Fame game, Hall of Fame week. Hopefully this damn virus is dead by then. You guys will get to meet. The Panthers are on the board. 1-0. I love it. All right. Nice. What do we got here? Wow. When did they score? Was it just now? Because I missed it. We were talking.
It's got to be in the last couple minutes because I'm consciously reminding myself the game's on, so I glance up just to look at the score,
Right.
And it's got to be in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, well, obviously it's only been on for a few minutes. But right now, see, here it is, I think. Here it goes. Right there. Boom. Okay, a slap shot from the point. And who was it? Let's see. Who scored the goal? All right, so that's good. At least the Panthers are up 1-0. I love it. Damn, that was nice, dude. That was nice. I like it. I like it. All right, so now we need the Panthers to pick this bitch up here. Get another goal. Who was that? Was that Matheson that scored the damn goal? It was Matheson? Okay.
68.
All right. All right, so Matheson scores the goal. I like it. All right. Now let's see if Bobrovsky. Remember, he didn't play bad in the first game. He did good enough to win, and had some nice saves in that game. Although the second goal wasn't a good goal, I gotta say, he got kind of fooled on that one. But okay, I'll take it, man. 1-0. Why not? Let's do it. That's the way it should be. Panthers have to win tonight or today. They've got to win in a big-time way. All right. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in. Josh has chimed in with a little super chat. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you, my brother. He says, awesome show. Thank you for keeping busy at work. Fins up, and let's go Heat. Let's go Panthers. It's hard for me to see the clock because it's not centered, the picture. So I don't see the clock very well there. All right. What else do we have here to talk about?
You know what? Before you go,
yes?
I was noticing last night, obviously watching the Yankees game, the angle of the camera is not where it used to be to kind of center the advertising and little banners that they're throwing up computer generated on during the broadcast for advertising. The camera angle is up so it like centers the back, railing, where all the streamers are flipping and whatnot for advertising.
Right.
And I'm like, the camera's like elevated like 10 feet because you would normally see a more level where the throws are going.
Right.
And you could see like the crowd, they've only got the first 4 or 5 rows and they throw like little computer generated banners and stuff there. And it's all for advertising.
Right.
But they've moved the angle of the camera.
Right. Okay.
Exactly like what you're seeing here. I'm wondering if they're doing the same thing because normally you could see the time on the clock.
I don't know. It might be my TV or something. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. 4 minutes left in the first. That's what it says now. I pulled it up now on the scoreboard. So I thought it was like 9. It's a 4. Again, I can't see it from the TV angle, so I pulled up the scoreboard. 4:34 left in the first. So there you go. That's what's going on, and they're leading, which this is a really, really good thing for our again, it's for them, this would be one hell of an accomplishment if they can somehow win this series, which not a lot of us give them much chance to actually win in this series, which is a shame, but that's kind of what they've earned. They've been that team now. Odell Beckham says a lot of stupid things in his world, and he does a lot of stupid things. He gets into fight with kicking nets. He asks them to marry them. He gets in fights with players. He brings watches onto the field. It's endless the amount of stupid things he'll do. He'll go down to South Beach in a weekend of a playoff on one day off, and not only that, he'll go to South Beach and be on a boat and not have the clothes to wear on a boat. That was the other thing about those losers. I mean, you look at that picture of Odell Beckham and his boys there on the boat, and they're all dressed in jeans. You can tell they weren't prepared. Dude, you're in South Florida and you're on a boat. Dress appropriately. You got the money. Let's go. You know what I mean? You look, it's like that kid that doesn't, he didn't bring his shorts or whatever, so he's still in jeans and playing a pickup basketball game. You know what I mean? And you're like, wow, dude, you really want to play, don't you? Because you're like screwing up all your regular clothes, that kind of deal. Anyway, so Odell, as it's been, by the way, the Islanders are in a power play. Odell, as I mentioned, has done a lot of stupid things. But if Odell's done, we got to be objective here on this show. We got to call things like we see it, right? I got to give Odell at least props for having some common sense, and I think the real honesty that people need to hear. Not that the NFL is going to do it, but at least he was being interviewed by the New York Times, and he publicly called out the NFL to cancel the 2020 season. He says, I just feel like the season shouldn't happen. And he goes, I'm prepared for it to not happen, and I wouldn't mind not having it. And then he explains why the NFL has bigger challenges than other pro leagues like the NBA. Obviously, with everything that's going on, it doesn't make sense why we're trying to do this. I can understand basketball was already in the playoffs. 5-on-5 basketball in an arena is going to be more intense than regular season games. hooping is different than playing an 11-on-11 contact sport where there's 80 people in the locker room. We're not ready for a football season, so why are we trying to push forward? It's obviously for their money, and that bothers me because there's always been this, and I hate saying it like this, but the owner's attitude is, oh, we own you guys, and just kind of that unfairness going on that they don't see us as human. And I just went through a segment telling you they don't care about players. Not that you need to know that, 99% of you know this, okay? 99% of you understand what Odell is saying. And nothing that he's saying is not true. He's not out of line whatsoever. This is flat out about greed. They're not in a position to have 80 guys in a locker room. He's right about that. All right? This sport is not made to be played in a pandemic. Football, hockey, can you imagine if you weren't in a bubble with hockey? Oh, man. Hockey would be in so much trouble, and so would basketball. Everybody's touching the damn ball. That thing's full of sweat. Everybody wipes their faces and everything in basketball because you have no choice. You ever played basketball? Sweat gets in your face all the time in basketball, and you can't do anything about it except wipe it off. Hell, don't you sometimes get a runny nose when you're sweating a lot? Right? That's all possible, too. I mean, it's just sports are kind of gross now. We're learning that because of now there's a focus on fluids. The fluids you breathe, the fluids you spit, the fluids you're drinking, the fluids you're spewing out from your pores. It's all over the place. So when you sit somewhere, touch somewhere, whatever, all that, it's all there. The water boy could have gone out to the club the night before. He's the guy handing out all the water bottles. Every bottle he touches, player touch. They're not in bubbles. You know the water boy in hockey or the water boy in basketball or the water boy in the bubble in the MLS is safe. You know why? That person's quarantined just like everybody else. So the person handing you the Gatorade cup is clean. In the NFL, you don't know. They could be asymptomatic. They could have tested negative. You think they don't have it, but they are. They're positive. They're carrying it around. They're spreading it. Odell's right. And I guess it takes somebody that's a little bit off kilter to actually say in public what needs to be said. Yo, NFL, you don't give a rat's ass about us. And he's right. I commend Odell, man. I mean, I don't.
Is this a first?
No, I think
there's been a couple.
It's
once a year.
Yeah,
once a year.
Yeah, he's reached his quota.
Okay, that's
a good point.
He's locked down until January 1st.
Yeah, January 1st. Maybe
we'll see you in
there
2021, Odell.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe he'll get something right in 2021. But he's reached his quota for 2020, guaranteed. But I got to give him love for it because we got to be fair. If we're gonna pick on him for doing stupid things, let's give him love when he's right. Now, having said all that, he has not opted out. He's going to play all of that. He's not going to quit or anything like that. Now, Odell has more motivations, too. Odell is coming off 2 seasons that are not up to his standards. He's had his share of injuries. He's had his share of setbacks. He's had his share of soap opera. So he needs a season, which I don't think they're going to have it this year. But he needs a season where he goes out and performs and shows to people, hey, I'm back. I'm Odell. I'm going to dominate. I'm one of the best receivers in the NFL. He hasn't had that in the last 2 years. Where it gets to a point that if he has another bad season, let's say if they play the whole season and he has a bad year, it'll be 3 years now, and people will say, well, wait a minute, dude, this guy's way overrated. And that's what he doesn't want. So he has a little personal motivation. But it's at least he spoke the truth about what's going on. I give him credit for that. Okay. Let's see.
I gotta say, looking up, man, you know they're outshooting us 2-1.
Yeah, 12-6. I see it there. Yeah. Yeah. Diseases just don't go away. They're always around. Yeah, I know, but John, I'm just hoping we can limit them, get it way down where it's not a pandemic is what I'm saying. You're right. We're never going to eliminate it, but eliminate it to the point that we can have a life. You know what I mean? It's kind of the way they've controlled AIDS has now gotten to that point too now. That it's not really common anymore. It's not something that's out there all the time now like it was for a certain time in the 90s that they had. Now they've limited it down, and now the cases are few and far between. They're not nearly as much anymore. So it's not a pandemic like it was before. So that's where that's changed. And you would like to get to that point with this virus. You are 1,000% right. It's not going away, but we got to limit it a lot more than what's going on now. Don't forget the infamous fight he had with Josh Norman in 2015. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's out there. I don't see our society living with it. I see everyone scared and a slave to it. Everyone needs to take precautions, but we need to keep things open. I agree. But again, John, it's not what you do and what I do, okay? Because you got off and you had your mask and you see I have my mask, but we got to get the idiots in the Ozarks that are partying in the pool, and there's 300-400 of them, or they're at a what is it, chain smokers concert, and there's 2,000 people without masks. That's the part that we got to get to. It's not I've never been the guy, close it all down and we can. No, man, I've worked through the entire pandemic, but I've worked responsibly, and that's the key. You're right. We have to learn to live with it. We have to learn to work around it, but what we can't do is be ignorant about it and spread it. That's what we
also social distanced that day, and that is one of the biggest things that they talk about.
Right.
If you're within a radius of somebody of 5-6 feet for more than 2 or 3, it gets to 5 minutes, the percentage of you getting anything they have goes 4 or 5 times.
Right. David says H1N1 is still around, but the dead H1N1 strand is a component part of the annual flu shots. This is how we control spread of any virus. We had seen H1N1 as far back as 70s. This coronavirus is new. Exactly. We just got to get it down to where it's manageable. You know what I mean? That way we can all get our lives back again, and we can do the things we love to do. Now, we may want to do them a little bit more safe. I know I am. I know, even if we control the virus, I know the first few concerts I'm going to go to, I'm going to have a mask. I know it. I just know it. I'm going to probably wear a mask. I got no problem with that, but we got to get to the point where we're responsible. It's not about closing. It's not about opening. It's about doing it responsibly. Okay? Go about your life, but do it responsibly. Don't be a dick. Don't be arguing with people and say, I'm going in there without a mask. No, don't go in. Don't do that kind of stuff. That's what gets everybody else in trouble. Each league should educate players about spitting and disposing of saliva and mucus products. Too many players. David, I understand, but the problem is they've been doing it for, since they were kids. And so it's a habitual thing that they've got. It just doesn't happen overnight. You got to give them time.
Watch any baseball game. They set up all these parameters they're not supposed to do. They're not supposed to throw the ball around after an out.
Yep.
You see them they do all those things because it's almost like second nature.
Yep. And Kareem Williams says, hit the like button. That's right. Hit the like button. Share, please. Send people the link so they know that we're here. All right. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in, that's 786-322-1105. It was Mike Hoffman that scored, by the way, not Matheson. Hoffman is the one that scored the goal. So they are in the intermission. Thank the Lord. They're leading 1-0. Let's hope they can hang on and keep it going. It would be really, really nice if they can.
Panthers up 1-0, Mike.
All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line, 786-322-1105. Now, some people just need to get laid. I think really, I think some of you out there need to roll a fat one and kick back and get really high and chill the hell out. I think some of you just need to get laid in a bad way. Look, I'm going to stay consistent like I've been for years on this. I was for anybody that kneeled. I had no problem with the kneeling. I understood the protest. I knew it wasn't about the flag. I knew it wasn't about troops. Nothing about that stuff. It had to do with equality. It had to do with social injustice. It had to do with police brutality. And they were bringing attention to that. And I had no problem with that when Cap was doing it, okay? And a few years later now, people are kneeling and they're, bonding and whatever. And now a couple of people are standing. So now we want to make a story of the people and the individuals that are standing. And now they have to also give us a thorough explanation on why they're standing. Okay? And this is America. Okay? Last time I checked, this is America. And in America, you can protest whatever you want. Okay? However you want. And if you're able to get away with it in your job, which normally you can't, but they can, then you do it. And they can. Now, if they want to stand or they want to kneel or they want to do whatever they want to do, walk into the locker room, whatever do, or they don't want to come out of the locker room until after the national anthem, it's all right by me. Are cooking during the national anthem. You are going to the bathroom to take a leak so you won't miss the beginning of the game during the national anthem. Okay? The only people that stand somewhat are the people in the stadium. But all of you at home are doing all kinds of things during the national anthem. You're not standing. You don't have your hand next to your heart. You're not looking at a flag anywhere in your house because you don't have one hanging in your living room. Okay? So plenty of people are doing silly-ass stuff during the national anthem. So we want to hold players to some kind of standard we don't even hold ourselves to. And I've said this for years. There's the guy picking his nose. There's the guy checking his phone, trying to get in a last-second bet. There's two women gossiping. There's two guys BSing. There's a kid that has his hat on. And there's another kid that's running up and down the aisles. There's people at the snack center. There's people taking a leak. There's a dude that wants to get his last nicotine hit out on the patio somewhere, wherever he can smoke or she can smoke. Please, dude. There's the dude smoking a joint at the top of the stadium where nobody's at, so the wind can take away everything, and he's trying to keep it stashed.
Smartest guy in the stadium.
Probably. But there's a lot of people doing all kinds of stuff during the national anthem. And so now we got people with some bug up their ass that they got to point out the guy that's standing. I mean, give me a break, dude. Get a life. Okay? It's America. And if you don't want to deal with it, bro, just wait till the national anthem's over and then turn on the damn TV. It's pregame. Okay? It's pregame. The only kneeling that goes on in the game is when the quarterback is running out the clock at the end of the game, asswipe. That's when the kneeling goes down. Snap, kneel. That's your kneeling. Your other kneeling, the guy that's kneeling down to hold the ball for the extra point or the field goal. There's your other kneeling. That's it. No other kneeling goes on during the game. It's all pregame. So don't watch pregame. Okay? But man, we have no lives here, dude.
Like, I don't give a rat's ass with the guy that's standing, and I don't care about the guy kneeling. I understand both. They're both. I don't need an explanation. Leave those men alone. Leave those women alone. Let them protest. Pay attention to the message. Don't worry about why they're not kneeling or why they're kneeling. It's critiquing just, it's like the guy that came last week. Hey, how come you don't have phones on this show? How can a show like this not have phones? I really want to talk about something. Okay, sir, what do you want to talk about? We're on the text line. Let's go. And the guy disappears. Why? Because he's just whining and bitching to complain. That's it. That's all it is. Whining and bitching to complain. You know? I don't get it, man. There are, you know what? A great example. I told you about this yesterday. There's this guy has a website, Route 1 Soccer, right? And he talks about a lot of local soccer. And remember, I'm doing a Heineken promotion now through the 11th. And you guys can go to my Twitter page, by the way, at Big O Show. Sign up for it, man, because if you win, that prize is awesome. I mean, they bring the stadium to you, stadium seating, a cooler, all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's really cool. So check it out and sign up for it. It's on our Twitter page at Big O Show. I did it with a Tampa Bay Mutiny shirt. I've done several of them. I did it with an Inter Miami shirt. I'm going to do it with. I did it with the Mutiny shirt. I'm going to do one with the Strikers jersey. I'm going to do another one with the Toros jersey. You know, some of the jerseys I have. And because most of my jerseys are local ties or my favorite teams, right? And Mutiny, I've actually rooted for the Mutiny and because I explained it to you when we didn't have the Fusion, whatever. So the same guy yesterday, right? He complained about that. And I told him, look, dude, you don't get it. It's big pictures and that. So he then complains, hey, well, what about promotion and relegation for the MLS? I didn't even answer the guy already. At this point, I'm not even going to bother with the guy anymore because I see through people a lot of times. And I know what you are already. So now I know you're a whiner and a complainer. And I get the entire world is in soccer is based on relegation and promotion. I get it. We're America, bro. We don't do that shit, okay? And that's the part he doesn't understand. But I didn't want to get into, why am I going to get into a conversation that a person is going to close themselves off? And America is not done that way. We don't do football that way. We don't do baseball that way. We don't do basketball that way. We don't do hockey that way. It's capitalism. Do you have enough capital to get into pro sports, to own a team? You do? Then you can play our game. You can be part of the billionaire club. If you don't have enough money, you can be a part of the billionaire club. And we're not kicking you out because in America, we don't support minor leagues. So we can't kick you out to the minors because that's how they do it in Europe. And that's how they do it in Central America. And they can do that. Do you know why they can do that also? Because they only have one damn sport in the rest of the world. We don't. We have 5 major leagues now. Not 1. Let me go LeBron on you. Not 2. Not 3. Not 4. Not 5. Okay? We have that. They don't. They don't have Major League Baseball. They don't have hockey. They don't have they might have a basketball league, but it ain't the NBA. So it's like but why am I going to explain that to somebody? And I get it that in a perfect world, you would have promotion relegation. But he doesn't understand that. He's going to close himself off. And our minor leagues aren't developed to the point to have the kind of following like promotion and relegation. Our minor leagues are getting elevated to the MLS, like Cincinnati, like Minnesota, like Orlando. These are all teams that were in the USL. How many of you know that? None of you know that. Maybe one person that's watching might know that follows soccer. Most people don't. So if your minors aren't strong enough, and by the time they get strong enough, they're strong enough to fill our majors. Okay? So that's what gets filled first. In order for us to instill, put in promotion and relegation, it'll be 50 years from now, if you even stand that chance. But American sports are never done that way. And where do you live? In America. You want promotion and relegation? You want to live in a country with one sport? Move out of the United States. I'm not saying that other countries don't have other sports, but they're not like their soccer. Here, it's different. Here we have major sports, and many of them, something that no country can claim, because no country is like the great United States. But again, people that complain to complain, like that guy, that's all they can do. And the positive stuff never really ever comes out. And I see it with that dude all the time. And that's all he does is whine and complain, dude. You know what? I can bitch and complain, but you got to take the time also to, give positive feedback for certain things when it deserves it.
Okay, so this guy's got 2 strikes. Does he get a chance at a third?
No, he has no more chances with
Okay.
me. I'm not.
I just had to.
I'm not even going to bother with the guy. I didn't bother yesterday.
Yeah, right.
I didn't bother
you
yesterday.
know the lay of the land. There's
Right.
no reaction.
Yeah, somebody has closed mind. Oh, promotion relegation. Dude, you're in America, bro.
Yeah.
You're in America.
You know what? Maybe he doesn't know where he's at.
Adjust.
It sounds like it.
Okay? We're in America. We do things our way, and that's the way it goes. Our sports are our sports, and we're inheriting soccer, and it's growing in our country, but we're going to do it our way, bro. You're not going to tell people to invest $500 million, $1 billion into a team and then tell them, no, we can send you to the minors. That's not how it goes in America.
Oh, they're going to tell you then I'm not getting involved.
That's not a way.
You know what? I got the money. We're going to go over here and start our own. That's
just not the way America does it. Okay? And if you don't like it, move the hell out, bro. It's pretty simple. That's all I can tell you. If you don't like the way the country rolls, move the hell out. Because that's how it rolls. You're not changing the way our capitalist government works, the way our things work here. You're not changing it. So why am I going to bother arguing with a guy that is going to be closed-minded and doesn't know what the hell he's talking about? You don't live in Colombia, bro. Okay? And in Colombia, it's soccer, and that's it. You don't live in Argentina or Brazil. Soccer, and that's it. And it's a great sport. I love it. It's the sport of the world. But those countries, they don't have other major leagues. They don't have anything that compares or competes with their soccer leagues. We're trying to create a soccer league that competes with our other bigger leagues, like the NFL and the NBA. That's what they're trying to do, and right now they are doing that. They're at the level of hockey and basketball when it comes to attendance. They're at probably the level of NHL right now when it comes to niche sports, but they're not at the level of popularity of the NBA, not even Major League Baseball, NBA or football. I think they'll be passing baseball in the next 10 years, and then they get to the point where they're number 3 in this country. But it takes time, dude. We're in America. We're not in Mexico, where they've got their soccer league, and that's it, bro. Their baseball league is nothing compared to their soccer league. It's minors compared to that. They don't have it. Nobody has it. Only Canada's the closest with the CFL. But then again, where's their soccer league? They don't have one.
They have a Toronto team that's part of the MLS.
That's our league, not their league.
But
that's
they're part
our
of it.
league.
Hey, they're going to claim it because they're part of it.
I'm saying they don't have it, but
they have the Toronto Blue Jays. They're part of the MLS. That's so
right.
Come on, man.
But they don't have their own. That's the difference.
Well,
Kenneth Cleveland chiming in with another super chat. He goes, Big O, I never have a problem reaching you. LOL phones. We don't need no stinking phones. Go Canes. I love it. We don't need no stinking badges. We don't need no stinking phones. That's what it's all about. All right, it's 107, bro. Let me take a break.
Wait.
Take a break.
We're only at 63 minutes. You don't want to continue to chug down the track?
No. 63 minutes straight is enough talk. Let's take a quick break. VSS West Pines, proud sponsor of our show, will be there tomorrow, 12397 Pembroke Road. Call them, 954-613-3367. You get 20% off. Make sure you tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. Water bongs, water pipes, you name it. They've got it there. CBD products, all kinds of stuff. Look, that Russia lunchbox is from, they've got a David Bowie one that's actually really cool. You got to check it out. They've got all kinds of stuff, man. You need a new backpack. They've got backpacks there that you won't find anywhere else. I'm telling you, okay? So all kinds of little gadgets and things like that. 12397 Pembroke Road. Tell them Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. VSSWestPines.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to
Can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right, we back. Panthers are still leading 1-0, 14-minute mark, I think is what it says there in the second period. Let's hope they can hang on for that. We need another goal, at least another goal or two, because a 1-0 lead, is one of those heartbreakers that you let a team hang around, and then they score the goal, and then before you know it, you're in a crap storm, and it sucks.
Was it?
And they scored. It's 1-1 right now. They just scored. So goal by the Islanders. That's why you needed extra goals, because it was going to be needed in a big-time way. Anyway, so we've got that going on at 6:30. We've got the Heat and the Celtics. Celtics favored by 3.5. And then we've got the Marlins at 7:35. Pablo Lopez against John Means. I will tell you this. I know that very few people out there actually care about the Marlins. I understand that. And they've kind of earned that, unfortunately. Not that Jeter's earned that. It's just been over time and prior ownerships. It's up to got me, believing you all the way through. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt now, and I understand that. But can I say something about the Marlins that will be a lot of fun for us? One of the things we love as Americans, we love rooting for the underdog. They have no business competing for a playoff spot. They get COVID now. They start 2-1 and get COVID, get knocked out for many games, and now they're back, and they're going to add more young guys, even younger than what they were already, and a couple of street guys that they signed, one that hasn't even ever played in the majors either. I mean, it's just crazy, the group of people that they have right now that are going to be taking on the Orioles. But just for craps and giggles, if this team somehow finds a way to win with this ragtag group, that's fun to watch. That's fun to watch.
Is this better than Major League?
It's kind of making a mockery of the whole thing, but still, it's kind of fun to watch because our Marlins really aren't supposed to have a shot, and the fact that they're 2-1 and they're right there at the top of the thing, and if they start winning some of these games, I mean, really, it's going to be kind of fun. So just, considering we have no shot and we shouldn't win, this Marlin thing here, it's a little fun to watch because of the impossible factor behind it. You know what I'm saying? So just, throw that out there. All right, 786-322-1105. By the way, at 140, Connor Falk is going to join us, XFL Insider. I wanted to bring Connor on because he's one of those guys that, this business is tough enough as it is. And it's gotten worse because of COVID. Many businesses, it's either crippled them or it's actually closed them down. One of the two. And so many of us have lost jobs because of this, and it's sad. And Connor's one of those guys that obviously the XFL hub was rocking for a little bit here. And here's where I disagree with people. The XFL was not failing. The XFL was succeeding. They were getting somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 million people watching per game. Their attendance in some of these games was pretty damn impressive. And then COVID took over, and that's really what crippled that league. Were they ever going to be the NFL? No. Were they ever going to compete with having the popularity of college football? No. Were they ever going to produce the kind of money of college football in the NFL? Hell no. But they were going to produce the kind of money that was going to be profitable, enough to keep a business around, enough to have success, enough to sell some advertising. That's the part people, they tend to want to let go because, the last couple of weeks, things started to go down because of COVID. And it's not their fault. But if you look at the first couple of weeks, it was doing good enough to survive and thrive. The ratings were enough that you could sell advertising. They were actually outdrawing some other sporting events that were on. That's, again, what conveniently people want to leave out. The XFL wasn't really struggling as bad as people made it out to be. The problem is there are some people that think in order for them to succeed, they had to have the kind of success that the NFL would have, and the Panthers have scored again. Yes. Okay. All right. Cojones. We need some cojones from the Cats. Let's go. Show me some.
And you see that came from what? A guy hanging in front of the net. He made it hard for him to see the Barkov goal, and Barkov got it top shelf on the left side.
What I talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
Put bodies in front of the net. People do it to us all the time.
All the time.
It works.
All the time. We should charge them rent or mortgage, considering how much they park themselves in front of our net. Nice job by the Panthers. There we go. Let's go, man. Show me some cojones. But anyway, I'm just saying that they were having enough success to succeed, to get by, to make a profit. That's all they really needed. They didn't really need to go out there and say, like the USFL did, that they wanted to challenge the NFL, which was stupid. They should have stayed in their spot, and they were doing just fine. They were having the kind of success that no offseason league would ever have. That's the real shame of the USFL. It sucks, actually, because that's the one that had they had the good players and everything. They really could have built something. But anyway, we will have Connor on to talk a little bit about it. And apparently there was only one offer on the table. Did you hear about this? They was going to go to auction, but the XFL didn't go to auction because there was nobody out there to bid on them, except for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Him and his partners, which includes his ex-wife, purchased it for $15 million. And according to Daniel Kaplan from The Athletic, in the XFL's bankruptcy case, no other qualified bids were received by the bid deadline. So only 2 bids arrived before last week's deadline for making offers, and only Johnson's passed the muster. So that's why they said, all right, well, if, a twisted look and say, okay, this thing is bogus, but I think this is something that can succeed. It doesn't have to explode, but it can succeed, I believe. I really do. So we'll talk to Connor about that later on the show here at 1:40. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. The other story that I saw that's kind of interesting is Aaron Rodgers, right? And Aaron Rodgers is talking about his situation that he's in. And it's an uncomfortable one, right? Because Jordan Love is there to take over for you, right? Think about this, okay? Whether you're a man or a woman, think about your wife having a younger husband in the house because you have reached your 15-year wedding anniversary. And she has a rule. She's got to change husbands in 15 years. You know how sometimes men change women too after a while, and they go get a younger woman, right? So can you imagine you're there and you're married to your wife for 10 or 15 years, and, about year 14, you go, I got to start working on a new one to replace the old one. So you find this younger girl to you engage in, and you bring her home, and you give her a room, and you say, sweetheart, you'll be moving into the master bedroom next year. Honey, next year we're going to have to ask you to leave because I've got your replacement. Jackhammering nearly as much as I needed to jackhammer every once in a while. And so I got to find me a younger guy. So we got a younger guy waiting. Next year, we'll make the change. So you're hanging around with the wife and waiting for a year until she makes the change. That's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, they just brought in the hot babe. They put her in the room. Yeah, you're in the master bedroom for a while. But eventually you got to go and say, I didn't consider it. I was gonna play, but I respect all the guys who have made decisions, have zero judgment. So he's talking about the COVID thing, right? Then asked about Matt LaFleur and asked about, the Jordan Love situation. And he goes, nothing's guaranteed in this league. I savor every moment, every season. I don't know what the future holds.
I know I can control this year in my play and my approach and my attitude. If I retire in the team's timeline, then all is well. But if they're looking to move on before I'm ready to be done playing, there's an impasse at that point. That's what I said to you guys day one when we first talked about it. Aaron Rodgers is dealing with the hot babe in his home. That's uncomfortable. Okay? Especially when you are the guy. Now, if you are Ryan Tannehill and you're there for 7 years and they bring somebody in and you haven't done jack, you got to deal with that. But when you're Aaron Rodgers or you're Russell Wilson or you're Pat Mahomes, Alex Smith had never done anything in this league. He was just a jag as a quarterback. Andy Reid brings him in as a bridge, ends up drafting Pat Mahomes, and then after drafting Pat Mahomes is when Alex Smith has his career year. Okay? Still not good enough to be a great quarterback or anything like that, but a career year in his eyes. Or in anybody's eyes, actually. But yet, Andy Reid knew, that's still not good enough. I need better than that in order to win a title. I don't want a guy that I can maybe win 8, 9, 10 games, maybe sneak into the playoffs. Maybe if everything goes well, I might win a game. Tannehill. I need a guy that's going to take me over the top. And he went and got Pat Mahomes. And he was right. But that's different. Those are people you're replacing that aren't good enough. Aaron Rodgers is more than good enough. Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. Can you imagine when Joe Montana had to deal with Steve Young there every day? And that's Bill Walsh bringing in, trading for Steve Young, saying, Joe, you're getting old on me. I got to have my guy ready to go. That's tough, man. That's tough. Now, Joe had the back injuries and all that, and so they were worried about, health and all that with Joe, so there were some other excuses. There were some other reasons. With Aaron Rodgers, it's not like he's got any debilitating injury. We're not talking about a neck or a back. We're not talking about Peyton Manning, and we're not talking about Joe Montana. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole different. We're not talking about Joe Namath, knees completely shot. Aaron Rodgers can still move around. Aaron Rodgers can still throw the ball, and right now Jordan Love is not even close to being a starter because mentally he's so behind what you need to be in this league, and he has shown you inconsistencies in college that should concern you for the next level too. And yet Jordan Love is the babe that is waiting to take over. That's pretty screwed up, man. That is pretty screwed up. 786-322-1105. Let's see. I saw on the NFL Network, Tannehill was ranked in the top 100 players in 2020. Yeah, that was funny, man. I saw that and I was funny. That was hilarious. I love drinking Corona while smoking a Corona and avoiding the Corona. Nice. That's what it's all about. I'll get you boys some beers. Just tell, I made a super chat. You did? Where's the super chat? Alexa V super chat. Yeah. Thank you, Alexa. Appreciate you as always. She says, hi, Owen Bill. Should I drink one of Josh's cold ones in the cooler? Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yes. Yes. Enjoy a cold one. If you're relaxing, watching the show, listening to the show, enjoy a cold one. Love it. Audio getting for you guys? I don't know. You tell me. I do see my video spinning here. So could be something wrong. What does it look like there? Yeah? All right. So, yes, apparently there's been a little bit of a little thingamajig there. Thank you, Alexa. Thank you for the super chat. Always appreciate it. There we go. Let's see. Ian had a super. Oh, did I miss another one? I'm sorry. I was talking. And then, no, I got Kenneth in Cleveland, his second one. Let me see. Oh, Ian from Brooklyn with a super chat. Thank you, Ian. I'm sorry. Thank you, Ian. He says, thank you, Big O, for the best show, period. Very nice of you, Ian. Thank you. And thank you, guys, for giving me the heads up on the super chat. I did not see that. I am not perfect. I will miss them because if I'm talking and then as you guys chat, then it disappears. So I have to then scroll down and go find it. You know what I'm saying? So I apologize. I am sorry about that. They scored 2-2. Holy crap. Wow. I just missed that too. That the Islanders scored and tied it 2-2. This is scary. This is the kind of game that doesn't make me feel good about the Panthers right now. You know, you get 2-0, then I start feeling better. You score one, they score another. You score one, they score another. I don't like that. Your defense is not, up to snuff. Damn it. That's not good. All right, let's take a break. It is 1:30. We do want to remind you, Toyota of Hollywood is a proud sponsor. We're there every Thursday at 1841 North State Road 7, just a couple blocks south of that ginormous, beautiful guitar off the turnpike. Please come on by and say hi. I would love to meet you. If you want to buy or lease a vehicle, make sure you mention our name. Steve Ostrov does a great job out there. Herbie Lopez is a saint. Gary Thompson, 1,500 cars and trucks to choose from. Great deals, and it's only at one place, 1841 North State Road 7, one of the best dealerships on the planet, the best-selling Toyotas. It is Toyota of Hollywood.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. A travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
We'll talk to Connor Folk in just a couple of minutes here. A little music news, by the way, since we always like talking a little music on this date. First of all, let's go with a little John Lennon. Today on this date in 1980, John Lennon began recording Double Fantasy with Yoko Ono, which is one of the great albums of all time, man. That's one of those where it's a shame because he had like the magic going, with that one. Prince, let me see, where is it that I saw the Prince thing? Prince started on this date in 84, a 24-week run at the top of the U.S. album charts with Purple Rain. It was his sixth studio album. Obviously, When Doves Cry, Let's Go Crazy, as well as the title track, which sold over 20 million copies worldwide, becoming the seventh best-selling soundtrack album of all time. And it is an impeccable soundtrack. It is one of the best. Couple of birthdays. Louis Armstrong was born in 1901 on this date. Graham Massey, keyboardist for 808 State, born in 1960 on this date. And Paul Reynolds from the Flock of Seagulls, born in 1962 on this date. So there you go, a couple of music notes for you all out there, since we love to keep up with a little musica in this show. What else do we have here that I saw on the agenda before we get to Connor Folk in just a minute? Kyle Kuzma. I saw he had a message for long-suffering Lakers fans. I got to ask something. I saw that headline, and I was like, does a long-suffering Lakers fan exist? Right? I mean, Orlando Magic, they have long-suffering fans. They've never won anything. The Atlanta Hawks are long and suffering. They have won nothing in forever. The Philadelphia 76ers, they have a pretty good team the last couple of years, but they have won nothing since the 80s with Dr. J. That's long and suffering. Sacramento Kings, you want long and suffering? It's the Sacramento Kings. The Phoenix Suns haven't had any success in 40 years. Much less an NBA title. Come on. I mean, long suffering. Like he threw out a tweet that says, real Laker fans remember the losing seasons. Here you go. And so they write they write, Kuzma had a message for the long suffering Lakers fans. Do you know the Lakers haven't won a title in 10 years? That's long and suffering. It's like, how can you call a Heat fan long and suffering? Why? Because we haven't had a title since 13? Is that why? I mean, come on, man. I mean, really? That's where we're going to go? I saw that, and it's like long suffering. You guys don't know what long. The Detroit Lions have been long and suffering. Our Miami Dolphins have been long and suffering. We haven't had a championship since the early 70s. Okay? That's long and suffering. And we've had some success after that. Now the last 25 years have been an embarrassment. But please don't tell me long and suffering. Lakers can never say they're long and suffering. Ever. At any point in their history, they can't say that. Because they win championships pretty much in every decade. What do they have? Like 11 titles or something like that?
A little arrogance there, you think?
Yeah. Give me a break, dude. Long and suffering. There's nothing about the Lakers that are long and suffering. They've had a great existence, man. They've been phenomenal. A lot of things to be proud of when it comes to the Lakers. All right. 786-322 1105. If you want to get in on the text line, that's 786-322-1105. We're going to get in contact with my buddy Connor Falk now in a minute here, and we'll talk a little XFL. By the way, an update: the Islanders have taken a 3-2 lead now on the Panthers. And the Panthers are on a power play. So we'll see if these boys can actually tie it up. All right, let's talk to my man Connor Falk, who does an excellent job as an XFL insider. Well, guess what? He will have that opportunity again to become an XFL insider because the XFL is back in business. Let's bring him on. Connor, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. Some exciting news coming down the pipes yesterday, so I'm happy to be back on with you guys.
Yeah, man, it's great. I thought of you right away when it happened, and a lot of us. It had the kind of ratings and the kind of viewership that you can get advertising from. We had certain cities that had incredible attendance, and hell, even in St. Louis, they were opening up the second level because they were selling out the bottom level. And to me, look, dude, if you hate it and you don't believe in it and whatever, that's fine, but don't use it to then spew misinformation because you covered the league better than I did, obviously, and you know that this league, it wasn't ever going to compete with the NFL, but it was doing enough to survive and exist.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to write a book about the million different things that COVID-19 has ruined, which is obviously just across the board, many, many, many things. I think the XFL would deservingly have a chapter, which would be an interesting one to read because, just like you said, we were really, really onto something. All the measurables that the executive leadership team wanted were matched or surpassed. The XFL was really, really going somewhere until it was affected by the pandemic. So I am definitely excited that we have a new ownership team that has yet to be approved, but hopefully will be approved come Friday, August 7th, because they can hopefully pick up on that momentum and keep running.
Yeah, I'm with you. Now, let me ask you, is there any part of you that thinks that the way this has happened, that McMahon is still kind of in charge, but they're using the vehicle of The Rock and his people, or do you think this is really all The Rock's doing from here on out?
So some of the entities that are owed money tend to disagree. There has been some way. Number two, there is concern about the low purchase price of $15 million. I think I've read that some of the entities are concerned about the low purchase price. So that has raised concerns, and also they are concerned that not all of the debt owed will be matched with this new purchase.
All right. So yeah, well, I mean, because they probably can still file for some kind of bankruptcy and then restructure, right? I mean, I don't know too much about this, but I almost get the feeling that they can purchase it and then kind of view what's going on and what's owed, and they can end up filing for some kind of bankruptcy to get out of some of that debt, I would imagine.
Yeah, based on the reporting of Kevin Seifert from ESPN yesterday and some of the other sports business insiders that were reporting on the purchase yesterday, in addition to the $15 million purchase price, it was agreed upon that they would take on $8.5 million worth of owed debt. So that would cover, the $800,000 that is apparently owed to, I believe, the University of Houston for the rental of the stadium and the facilities. So they would take on some of those owed debts. Just like you just said, I'm not a bankruptcy lawyer by any means, but my understanding is that they had significantly more debt owed than $8.5 million. So I don't really, I'm sure that there will be some type of lawsuits coming out there. Coaches, a lot of coaches, I do have confidence that Redbird Capital, in addition to The Rock and Danny Garcia, I'm sure they did plenty of research into this and with their legal team, and they have confidence that they can safely resolve all of these issues moving forward.
Connor, have you found out when they're going to inform us of anything, when The Rock plans to address what they're going to do with the league, when it'll restart and all that good stuff? Because I don't know if you saw the Dana White stuff. He came out already. Oh, I'm going to call him to give him some tips. He needs to get out there right away. People are desperate for sports, which is true. They are desperate, but unless you're able to do it in a bubble, because I don't think the NFL and college football end up happening without a bubble. I really don't. So I can't imagine that the XFL is going to come back in the middle of a COVID crisis where they would have to spend the money on a bubble. So I just kind of feel like this is going to be on the shelf for a little bit until COVID is done. I would imagine. That's my guess.
Yeah, well, Kevin Seifert from ESPN over the last 2 days has gotten so far the only exclusive interview with one of the new owners from the group, Danny Garcia. Let me just say that Danny Garcia has by far been the most visible owner from the three. She's been the one that has been most visible on social media and the most visible giving quotes to Kevin Seifert. And when he was interviewing her, he was releasing quotes from her both yesterday and in an update to a story today from Danny. She said that the XFL is their intention is to play in 2021. She did share that the exploration of a bubble concept is something the league will absolutely explore. And I completely agree with your observation that I mean, honestly, just looking at the comparison of how the Major League Baseball season is going to the NHL and NBA, I think we will explore the bubble concept. They do want to play in 2021, but let me just go on record here that, I mean, they have a million things that they need to figure out, and it's doing it in 6 months is going to be extremely hard. They need to completely revamp their talent pool of players. They need to completely revamp their coaching staff, their front offices. Obviously, the business department is going to have a lot of employees from the XFL, the original iteration last spring, that will want to come back. But they're obviously some people have gone on to other full-time roles. So that's just employment. I mean, we haven't even talked about all of the insurance that they need to redo, the broadcasting deals that they need to redo. I mean, just rebuilding their branding and their marketing strategies and yada, yada, yada. I could go on for 30 minutes talking about the things that they need to prepare for between now and a potential start date in late February, early March. So even though they want to do 2021, personally, I just don't know if they're going to be able to pull that off. But, the Rock and his new team here have just a significant amount of connections at their disposal. So, I guess if anybody can do it, it's probably the most successful actor in all of Hollywood, I would say.
Connor Folk joining us, XFL Insider. And Connor, okay, so when it does come back, and whether it's 8 or 10 teams, give me a city or two that will not get their XFL team back as your prediction out of the group that did have it.
So I think even though I would love to see San Diego get a team, I think Los Angeles is actually going to stay where they're at, even though they don't have a great attendance, because I mean, it's that Hollywood connection. I mean, we have Redbird Capital, which has a significant stake in Skydance Media, which is a massive production company. Danny Garcia obviously owns and runs a massive production company that produces major blockbuster movies. And then obviously The Rock's connection to Hollywood. So I think LA is probably going to stay. The only team that really off the bat, I would say, has a possibility of moving would be Tampa. I can see Tampa moving to a more population-dense city in Florida, Miami, for example. I really, really could see moving to Miami as a possibility, and that's just going off of my hunch, my speculation. But Miami would make a lot of sense because the Rock has a historical connection to the city, obviously playing for the University of Miami. He's owned houses there. He's had a deep connection to that area. And I think that would be an exciting possibility to move the Tampa team to. Now, more so than moving cities, I think it's a lot more possible that they move stadiums. Before the XFL officially folded, there were a lot of rumors that the New York team was going to move to the Red Bull Soccer Stadium in New York City because it's a smaller venue, more intimate venue, and that just made sense strategically. I think there's a chance that the LA team would move stadiums, and that's really just to try to have a more intimate environment, a better-looking product on television. So I could definitely see them moving cities, moving stadiums. The only, like I said, the only city that I really see moving right now would be Tampa.
Oh, interesting stuff. How about you, my brother? What's going to happen with you now with the XFL coming back? What are you going to do?
Probably going to jump off right where I left off and just try to remake connections. Now, I'll be fully transparent. Most of my sources that made me really successful in this original iteration have left the league. So, it's really about reconnecting and rebuilding my network of people as new employees are hired into the league. And if I'm able to do that successfully as the first go-around, I think I'll be in good shape. But yeah, I'm just going to jump right back off where I ended last season, and hopefully I can provide you guys some great content moving forward.
Yeah, I expect that, my brother, and of course, when it comes back, well, you'll be a part of our show as always. Connor, appreciate you, my man. Thank you for sharing some insight and talking a little XFL. I'm glad that it's coming back, man. It gives us a little more football in the off season, and I got no problem with that, my friend. Thank you for taking some time.
Have a great rest of your day, man. Great talking to you.
You got it. There you go, Connor Falk, man. It's good. I'm happy for him because he was doing a really good job covering the event or covering the league, and I'm happy for a lot of. Listen, in the end, this means jobs. Players are going to get jobs, right? Because they're going to get opportunities to play football. Coaches are going to get opportunities to coach. Trainers are going to get opportunity to do their thing. Ticket people are going to be able to sell tickets. People that are in the stands selling beer. There's a trickle-down effect to everything, right? Sports talk hosts will have one more thing to talk about on their, and I like it that way because, man, the last couple of days has been a lot of fun. And it's a lot less of the crappy politics and everything that has to do with COVID and all this crap. And, it's really nice to get back to just talking sports again.
Bottom line, it was entertaining, man.
Yeah, I was. I don't know if Rock would do it out of nostalgic purposes, but if he does love South Florida, and if he moves an XFL team here, I didn't think about that actually, but that would be interesting to put an XFL team. You put it at Hard Rock Stadium, or you know what, the new Lockhart is perfect for the XFL, man.
I was just thinking that.
Only problem is
size.
Only problem is it'll run into the soccer season because the soccer season starts in April. And so then you've got, the off-season, you've got that football league going at the same time. So I don't know how they would treat their fields because that would cause an issue. Now, maybe you do bring it because in a couple of years you leave to Miami and the only thing that's there is the USL team. So that allows you to have another tenant to possibly, draw fans. So you never know. Julius, thank you. You're watching. Thank you, Julius305. Appreciate you, man. Not only am I going to enjoy the mask, and thank you, Julius, for sending me the mask. Appreciate it. Thank you, my man. And thank you for the thingamajig. I put it on my keychain, and so that's very nice of you. I haven't used it yet because I put it on the keychain last night. But the first opportunity I get to, hit ATM buttons or anything, what I have to elevator or whatever, I'm going to use your thing to keep my distance. 05, thank you, sir. Very, very kind of you. Plus, he sends in a super chat and everything on his ID, which I love that. Let's see. Somebody sent me an I'm sorry, that I was ordered weeks ago. It's not an N95 or N99. Yeah, I've seen the face ones, the ones that the nurses wear. I've seen those with the old logo, but and I appreciate you. Remember, the links don't work on the text line. Send it to me on email, orlando@bigoradioshow.com. I know one of you already sent me on the email a link, and I saw it. It's the regular surgical mask type one. I like that one. That's all right, but that's not. I want an N95, N99 mask with the old Dolphin logo. That's what I need to find. Kids will be fine at school. A scene from the first day of school this Monday at North Paulding High School in Georgia. Sure they will. Of course they will. Because, they never spread any viruses at all. They won't be spreading it to older people, and they'll be killing their teachers and administrators. Oh, you need a Wi-Fi extender. No, I don't need a Wi-Fi extender. The Wi-Fi is in my studio. So I'm not away from the Wi-Fi. It's just maybe the Wi-Fi in the area was, sometimes it's a little shady. But normally the Wi-Fi is always strong. I normally don't have any issues with the Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? Mark says, drove 150 miles listening today. Super chatters, I got 13 packets left. You are definitely one of our top super chatters, as always. Got some presents for the super chatters. Appreciate all of you out there, as always. Thank you. Only had a handful, no meaningless test, and trace programming was initiated here. Oh, I don't know what you guys are having COVID conversations now. Yeah, I want to stick to sports, bro. I have so many sports subjects to talk about that we hit the 3-hour mark already today on it, and I'm glad that we're able to talk about sports for 3 hours because that's really what I want to do. I want to focus more on sports and less on all the crap that's going on and all the craziness, man. I'd like to stay away from it. I really would. Panthers, by the way, I think they're down still 3-2 if I'm correct, and we're in the second intermission here. So we are awaiting the Cats to come out for the third period, and now they're trailing. Here's where you fear the moment because you come back in the third period and you're trying so hard to tie it up that you make a mistake defensively. You give up a 2-on-1 breakaway, and you end up a 4-2, and then you're really screwed here. This is not the position you want to be in if you're the Panthers, unfortunately. This sucks.
Do you think, based on
I try. It's hard for me to do that.
Based on the first game, the third period, the way we played, other than those 3 minutes, the last 17 minutes, do you think that they understand that they're down by a goal?
Bill, I have no hope for them.
Okay.
I have no hope for them. I'm just hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping that they wake up and they do something that I never expected them to do because I don't believe that they're going to do anything. I don't believe they're making an impact at all. I don't believe that came to head. You know what I mean? I'm
but
watching
it totally
what they
killed
are.
any hope you had.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't even think I would have found hope, bro. It's just hard. Those guys, they haven't shown me anything that says I should have hope for these Panthers. Unfortunately, bro, it eats at me. It bothers me. You know?
Well, I have to say that with the way they play, we haven't seen the Boston 4-goal comeback, any of that.
That was the first.
It's been months, man.
That was the early part of the season.
Yeah,
that was the first month
exactly.
and a half where people weren't in a groove, and then and we took advantage of it, and fine. But then once they got in, we became what we were, and that's why I got off. That's why I was already like, okay, you guys didn't show me what
This
you did
was
the
like
first
January.
month was
January, right?
Yeah, it is in January. What you did the first month was an aberration. It really wasn't you. I thought maybe they were ready to take that next step and grow, and unfortunately, I just don't have a lot of hope for them to get it done. Did you guys see Johnny Manziel? Now, Johnny Manziel has said a lot of the right things lately when it comes to maturity and all those kind of things, but recently he dove off a cliff that he almost slipped, and he fell, far enough out that he didn't hit any of the rocks and fell in the water. And that's kind of, the thing with cliff diving. Usually it's a cliff. So you got to make sure you clear the rocks so you can hit the water, right? So Johnny Manziel now did a flip off a roof of a house into a pool, right? And TMZ's got the video. You can go to TMZ Sports, and you'll find it a lot faster because I don't know where they put it on the real TMZ, and it might be pages down, and I don't know, But on the sport one, you'll find it pretty quickly scrolling down. And it's a cool video. They slow it down. They add music. They show Johnny diving and then flipping over and landing in the pool. And he did it. Okay? Now, the end of the roof and the beginning of the pool, it looks like there's about 10 feet. So he had to come running and jump, dive, and then he flipped as he was diving and into the pool, right? So there was some risk that if he slips or whatever, you know what I'm saying? This is a rich kid. This is a kid that he's got his life set for himself. And I get that he could not complete the high of playing football. And you need the crowd and all of that. And I know players that when they retire from the game, they need to find something that fills that void, and nothing really fills that void. They announce games, they coach, they try to stay next to the game as much as possible, but it doesn't fill the void, but they try to scratch the itch a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if Johnny's failures to become a pro quarterback is leading now to doing some of these crazy things. But for a guy that talks about maturity and has said all the right things, and I commend him for that because it seems like he had matured some. A couple of these actions now, that cliff diving and this, dude, if you're 16 or 18, I understand when you're 15 and 18, you're a grown-ass man at this point. You got to, be a little smarter than that. I'm just saying, look, man, I'm not going to lose any sleep if he ends up screwing himself up or anything like that. But I'm just seeing this and before you wreck yourself, as they say, just kind of odd, man. All right, you guys know anything about Kelvin Rodriguez Tormes? Okay, you already know when they've got three names, there's a good chance they're serial killers or something crazy, right? I mean, that's just kind of, the law. So those of you that have three names, you may want to eliminate one.
What's wrong with having three names?
Yeah, just,
no, that's not true.
Just look at
Sorry.
John Lennon, three names. Ronald Reagan, three names.
John Lennon.
Yeah, the guy that killed John Lennon.
Oh.
Three names.
Okay.
Ronald Reagan, three names.
So
I'm just saying there seems to be, these killers end up with three names. I'm just saying.
I'm going to guess you're two. You don't have a middle name.
No, I don't have a middle name. So anyway,
okay, Junior.
I'm just saying.
There's three, Junior.
No, but that's not a middle name. That's just what's that called? That's not a middle name. What's that called? That's not an add-on. Anyway, so Kelvin Rodriguez Tormes, you listen to this story. Okay? An Orlando man, not Orlando, but he's from Orlando. He is Florida. Kelvis Rodriguez Tormes was arrested for shooting and killing 22-year-old Desmond Armand Joshua Jr. He has three names. Argument with Joshua, and she then went to go get her man to handle the situation. After they returned to the store, Tormes demanded that Joshua fight him first and then put him in a chokehold. Tormes was then pulled off of Joshua and went to his car to get his gun, came back and shot Joshua. He reportedly told Joshua he had 2 seconds before he shot him. Joshua was rushed to a local hospital where he later passed away. Tormes has been charged with first-degree murder, destruction of evidence, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Okay? Now, I'm just, first of all, this woman puts down a $40 order. A $40 order takes a while. Okay? I don't care where you go, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. $40 is a lot of food. You got to wait.
Okay? Now, to the anger you must have to go shoot somebody over a Burger King order, bro. And I'm not trying to make anything out of Burger King. I'm not going to say that a $40 order at In-N-Out is worth fighting for. No. I'm just saying it's just a fast food order. $40, dude. You took somebody's life for $40 of food that you were getting. You were just not getting it fast enough. And then you had the kind of woman that wants you to go out and kill somebody. Because, Kelvin Rodriguez-Torres is a scumbag, a thief, a murderer, all of that. But that bitch, that is a terrible woman right there. Seriously. I mean, that a woman any human being has to have some kind of class in that moment. You're going to lose your stuff, and you want to go get your man to go beach. They're all just, dude, they probably have a second job. Almost everybody at Burger King. Okay? Good chance of that. Maybe not the manager, but everybody else that's working. I mean, come on, dude. Seriously. We got to have a little bit more sympathy. We got to have a little bit more empathy. We got to have a little bit more respect for human life. People are stealing and killing people over nothing. And a $40 order at Burger King can you imagine? Think about being that young man, Desmond Armand Joshua. Think about being that young man. You just got the job. And that was going to be the last job you ever had. Because to think that you're going to die at Burger King, that's just, and he's 22 years old. He's a baby. That young man had his whole life in front of him. And this scumbag, Rodriguez-Torres, takes it because of a $40 order at Burger King. I just wish we had a little more respect for each other. We can have our disagreements and all that stuff, but we're going to be fighting over stupid-ass stuff. We're going to be killing over stupid-ass stuff. Come on. It's pretty gross, man. It's sad that something like that would happen. Tomorrow, we're going to be at VSS West Pines at 12397 Pembroke Road. We'll be out there starting off at noon. Remember, when we do the shows out there, we start 1 hour later. So we'll go noon to 3 tomorrow here on the program and have some fun and talk about all kinds of things, baby, which is a beautiful thing. And the good thing is we got a lot of sports to talk about. And tomorrow we'll get to talk about whatever this game leads to with the Panthers, which we'll be watching right now, the finish of it. We'll get to watch the Marlins and the Heat and the Celtics, plus everything else going on in sports. So that's the beauty. We get back to actually talking about sports again. Man, I love it. I love it.
I get to concentrate just on the Marlins game tonight.
Yeah.
Because the Yankees are off. I hope our friends.
You've been watching the Heat, weren't you?
Yes,
6:30.
Yeah, I'll be watching the Heat and then Marlins flipping. They're the secondary.
Flip it.
But I hope our friends in the Northeast are staying safe. Obviously, the storm is up there, the rain.
Friends in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
All the way through Virginia and then obviously in the northeastern corridor out there. All of you, I hope, are safe out there. No doubt. Good call by you, Bill. Because obviously we've got our friends all throughout the Northeast.
Yeah, they didn't even try to get the game in between the Phillies and the other. It postponed due to rain, and we're going to go to Philly tomorrow and play a doubleheader to make up. And, it's one of those, we're actually a home team on the road. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of that going on this Major League Baseball season.
Yeah.
You're the home team, but you're on the road.
No doubt. And Herman, yes, we are still fasting, bro. I'm still working on my fasting. So, yes, best way to do it for me, at least. It's not for everybody, okay? It's not for everybody to fast.
That's just one of those deals. We got to thank everybody that chimed in on the text line there, on the chat board, on the super chat. Kenneth in Cleveland did it twice today. Josh, Alexa V, Ian from Brooklyn, Julius 305. Thank you all out there for sending in the super chats as always.
We want information. Who are you?
I'm a go-getter.
Who are you?
Dumbass material all the way. Dumbass.
Super chat. Thank you. I hope I hear the horn now because the Panthers score would be nice. And thank you all out there. Mark says, puff, puff, give, but don't take back. Once you pass it, don't get it back because they might be spreading it. But then again, you shouldn't pass because you could be spreading and you don't know.
At the top of the stadium?
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe. I mean, normally NorCal's got choice seats. You know what I'm saying? NorCal
does he venture all the way to the top?
Nah. He just he goes out to the
concourse.
The concourse there. That's it. Goes out there with the rest of the smokers and enjoys it. That's it. So there you go.
Good plan.
That's it. Don't share. Don't pass. Keep your own. Roll your own. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Much love, Bill and Philippe, as always, on audio and video, getting it done. You all be good. Much love.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Wear your mask.
Mask up.
Wash your hands. Tomorrow, 12 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Un abrazo.